Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Adam Fantilli put on a show last night in his hometown. The Toronto native scored twice, including a game winner to power the Blue Jackets to a 3-2 OT win over the Maple Leafs. Zach Werenski tallied 3 assists in the victory. He's now second in points all-time in Jackets history. Jet Greaves with 29 saves in the win. CBJ are in Detroit tomorrow to battle the Red Wings at 1 o'clock. In college hoops, Ohio State improved to 5-0 with a 91-58 win over Western Michigan. Devin Royal and Amari Bynum had a double-double for the Buckeyes. Will host Mount St. Mary's next Tuesday. In the NFL, the Texans sacked Josh Allen 8 times and picked him off twice en route to a 23-19 win over the Bills Thursday in Houston. Texans improved to 6-5 with the win. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lesmerises joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
Oh, baby, let's do it live on a Football Friday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you here for the next 3. Tim going to drop by at 10:30. Doug at 11:30. We will know the scores at 11. We've been doing pretty good at this. We've been doing pretty good at knowing the scores, so we'll continue to try and keep the hot streak going. Well, maybe I have, Baker. I won't speak for you. But we'll try and keep it going this week as we attempt to know the scores. The bells toll, and this is it. This is your last game. This is your last game in Ohio Stadium this season. I've been to a lot of these. Many of you out there have been to a lot of these. It's emotional. It doesn't matter the opponent. It's emotional. It's different when it's Michigan. There's no doubt about it. That one has a different level to it that it's really difficult to explain. Rutgers takes some juice out of it. There's no doubt about it. 32.5 takes some juice out of it. There's no doubt about it. But if you were in that stadium tomorrow, or if you were watching on television, there is no doubt going to be a player who, whether you know them or not personally, and very likely you probably don't. Maybe you met them at an autograph signing, or maybe it's a situation where you've seen them in passing, or maybe it's just somebody you've rooted for a long time. There's going to be a player who runs out, who has his name introduced, and runs and hugs their family after shaking hands with Coach Day, and it's going to hit you that this is it. And if you think of the names that were the This Is It guys last year, it's as big of a list of This Is It guys as you're going to find. And you apply that same thing to this year, and you think of the impact and the staying power and the familiarity and love that we've had for the players who will be introduced tomorrow. Now, I am curious, and maybe Ryan has addressed this or not, if juniors who we know are gone will have a day, because they've done that in my mind a couple of times where like it is known. But even for the juniors who are not introduced, and it's your last time running out of that tunnel, because by damn it, we're going to beat Michigan next week, and we are going to win the Big Ten championship the following week against Indiana. So this is it. And the name for me, among several, obviously, like, you think about Caleb Downs' impact. Like that's one that is, I mean, this is it. He's going to go in the top 10 of the draft, and that's kind of it. You think about Arvell Reese's one season, and he might be the first non-quarterback taken in the NFL draft. Hell, he might go number 1 overall. Who knows? But the one for me is going to be Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is going to be the one for me because we have known the Styles family in this town only forever. Only forever. And the whispers in high school football circles around Sonny and his talent was something that happened at a very young age. It was at a very young age. It was, wait till you see this kid. It was going to be that. And oddly enough, my first kind of real time seeing him be all that he is capable of in full was not on a football field, but rather in the state basketball championship. When Pick Central beat Gabe Cupps and Centerville. Something that had never, Centerville hadn't lost. They hadn't lost in 2 years. They were trying to win back-to-back state championships. And Devin and Sonny and Pick Central beat them. And Centerville had a kid going to Florida State. Cupps was Mr. Basketball. Royal was Mr. Basketball the following year. And Sonny Styles physically, as a junior, dominated the game. He dominated it. They bled out the clock the last minute or so, playing keep away, just kind of Devin and Sonny. And every loose ball was his. And he did this. I mean, remember, he didn't play his senior year at Pick Central. He came here. And so when I saw that, I thought, holy cow, like, what do you do with this guy at the next level? Like, by the way, I thought he could have played both. I remember talking to former Buckeye George Reese about this. Like, are we sure he couldn't play basketball in college too? And he's like, no, I think he probably could. I think he probably could have played basketball at Ohio State. Probably could have played both if he wanted to. But he chose the football path, and then they didn't know what to do with him. What is he? Is he a tight end? Is he a safety? Is it a defensive end? And I remember threes early on saying, God, he's a linebacker, is what he is. He's a linebacker. And now it kind of comes full circle. And tomorrow, he and Lorenzo are going to walk out and be honored on Senior Day and see their folks and see Pops who played here. And you want to talk about a first full circle moment. I can't imagine that. That's all those boys, I'm sure, ever dreamt of is playing at Ohio State, being Buckeyes just like their dad. And now it's their Senior Day. And it makes you probably feel a little old. I know it does for me. But those are the things I'm going to think about tomorrow. There's a million other factors in this. Who's going to play, who's healthy, who's not. 32.5 is a lot of points. Is Ohio State even interested in that? We'll get to that over the next three. But that's not really what tomorrow's about. Tomorrow's about guys like Sonny Styles and Lorenzo Styles. It's about guys like Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, who, despite having eligibility, are most likely gone. It's about guys who we have come to know over years and root for over years, who have exceeded even our wildest expectations this year, putting on that jersey, strapping on that helmet, and running down that tunnel for the last time. And it's special. And I don't give a damn if Rutgers is god-awful and it's a 4.5 touchdown spread in this thing. That moment is priceless, guys.
Yeah, it's something you don't get to do but once. You know, a big Buckeye bear hug for all those seniors and the NFL-eligible juniors who are going to, for one final time, run out onto Ohio Stadium in front of 105,000. And that's likely one of the bigger pops you're going to hear tomorrow, or when the Styles brothers come out and you have that emotional embrace. If Threes is out there, if Ryan Day is out there to meet them on the field, it's a thank you for everything you've done for this program. Thank you for everything you will continue to do for this program, because certainly Sonny's going to make an impact at the next level that you'll have on every piece of recruiting and social media for the next decade. I mean, that's the trajectory his career looks to take. And then you play a football game where I think you get a chance to thank all of the seniors for their service. I think you do get, with a 32.5 point spread with a 5-5 Rutgers football team, this is an opportunity to get everybody out there onto that field for one final time before they go on with whatever's to be for their career. And I think it's a chance for the fans to get to sit and just kind of enjoy Ohio State football at its apex. Because the next couple of games are going to be in more sterile environments. Obviously not the one next Saturday, but that's not one we're going to want to get to just yet. But the Big Ten championship game and the college football playoff aren't going to be environments quite like what you see at Ohio Stadium, and because I'm biased to a lesser extent at the Big House.
But when I first think of this Senior Day, I think of the underclassmen on this team first that we're not going to have anymore. I think of Carnell Tate and You mentioned Caleb Downs. I think of Arvell Reese. I think of those guys, and it's like, man, I can't believe this is our last game with them. And then a lot of times on senior days, I think of some of the local guys, and you mentioned the Stiles brothers. Mm-hmm. But I think of some of the guys that just came here and wanted to be a part of Ohio State, and that was their dream, and maybe they never even really saw the field. Like I think of a David Adolph, who came in as a walk-on wide receiver and actually got his way into the special teams rotation, has been a fixture on special teams the last 2 years, and actually gotten in at receiver some. I think of those guys and how hard they worked. The one that's going to be real emotional, I bet, tomorrow is Mason Maggs, a local kid from Dublin who just lost his dad, a month and a half ago, and he's going to be on that field for the final time. I think of how emotional that's going to be. And then another one that I didn't even realize he was a senior. I actually thought he had another year, and maybe he still does, but he's a part of this senior class, is Carson Hensman. And I think of what could have been with Carson Hensman, and who knows what happened. He starts the whole year as a center, and then he can't see the field last year until injuries just decimate the offensive line, and he comes in and really solidifies his spot, becomes the number one center on this team again this year. And I just think of that kid's career, and he actually really played some really good football for Ohio State. And I just wonder what could have been with his career. And it's still pretty good, and he's probably got a shot to play in the NFL if whatever happened last year hadn't happened with him.
You're exactly right. It's names that you don't normally hear too. Mm-hmm. It's all of that. It's really cool. It's really very, very cool. I don't know what the get-in price for tomorrow is. My guess is it's probably pretty manageable considering all of the factors at play. But if you're sitting on your couch tomorrow morning, you're like, should we go? We could get in for $40 or whatever. Do it. Pay the price and get in. And go, because there is something magical about it.
I'm seeing tickets as low as $23.
Okay, so you can get in and enjoy it and take it in, and they just do it as good as anybody. You can feel the history reverberate through the place on a day like tomorrow when they honor those seniors. Of course, it's about a lot more than that. We've got a billion questions about health. We've got a billion questions about building towards next week, which it feels like they've been doing for a little bit. We will get to all of that as we always do. We're off and running on a Football Friday edition. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Another summer has ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Tri-State Men's Health and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
It's Happy Honda Days at John Hinderer Honda. Lease a 2026 Honda Civic Hatchback Sport for $199 a month for 36 months. Visit HindererHonda.com. Buy a vehicle and we'll donate a Thanksgiving dinner to a local family in need.
Tax, title, and registration extra 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents per mile. Over restrictions apply. See deal for details. Offer ends 12/1/25.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means 3 things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime at Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson
Import Company, New York, New York.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see scattered showers throughout the day. Could have some heavy downpours at times with temperatures topping out in the low 50s. We will see rain chances increase later tonight, especially overnight with some heavy downpours possible and lows right around 40 degrees. But for Saturday, for Buckeye football, we do see more sunshine as we go throughout the day with afternoon highs topping out in the low 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
You know, one of my favorite memories of Senior Day came in what was otherwise a very forgettable Senior Day game, and it was in 2011. Our buddy DeVere Posey, who's here, they had gotten pinched in the absurd Tatgate scandal from the year before, and most of the people on that team bounced. Terrell Pryor bounced. I guess some stuck around, but nobody got hit as hard as DeVere, and I always thought it was unjust, and I was doing the show with AR at that time, and he and I both argued vehemently that it was absurd what they did to DeVere, that they made him kind of the fall guy for all of it, and I'd went to, he was a LaSalle kid, if memory serves, and I remember talking to him when he committed to Ohio State, went down to Cincinnati when he committed on National Signing Day, and talked to him, and his career was an awesome one, and he got suspended for the first 10 games of the season that year. And who sticks around? Think of the stick-to-itness of that. Like nowadays, I'm out. Like, I'll see you on down the road. Like, I'm not doing this nonsense. But he stuck. And they played Penn State on Senior Day. And I was very curious, like, what the reaction would be for DeVere. And I remember thinking, like, man, I hope that crowd appreciates him the way that I thought he deserved to be treated. And boy, did they. Boy, did they. I don't know if it was the loudest Senior Day pop in 2011, but it was up there. It was up there. It was a loud one. And he was introduced. They ended up losing the game 20-14. Braxton was a freshman on that team and had elevated to quarterback, and they lost 20-14. Luke was the interim at that time. But DeVere ended up with 4 catches for 66 yards. But what I remember most was the pop that he had. And I remember him milling around the interview room, and I asked Jerry, I'm like, is he available? As he kind of went through. And he was, and we interviewed him. And after I interviewed him, I just gave my appreciation to him off camera. I just said, I just really appreciate what you did and the fact that you stuck and you deserved, I think, better than what you got. But you never heard him complain about it. Like, he just handled his business, and then he played in that game, and the crowd rewarded him. So that's one of those ones where we all remember the Johnny Simons, and we remember these massive senior days. I mean, who can forget Troy Smith, like a matador, like all of those things. But there's also those ones out there that are really cool moments that sometimes get lost in all of this. So really, really cool about that.
Yeah, that was just about to say the 06 senior day is something whenever you think of Troy Smith, like you think of him charging out there and then playing Michigan.
Yeah.
And that game he had against the Wolverines, and how a lot of players, it felt like that was the national championship and you had really conquered college football. And nobody remembers what happened after that Michigan game. It's not that big of a deal, but it's one of those indelible images of a player who will only go down in history as one of the greatest to play at Ohio State. And you've got similar players on this team, this 2025 incarnation, that are looking to make similar legacies. Because has it ever happened? Back-to-back national champions. You read the list yesterday of guys who are up for awards on Ohio State, and it's still growing. And those are some of those guys that are going to be, I think, embraced tomorrow for the last time going out there and playing the game that they love. And I think the senior, they're all special, right? Any chance you get to play at Ohio Stadium is a special thing for these guys. But the idea that this will be the last time for many of them this is why one of the reasons we love college football so much is you don't get this anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think that's something really cool for this senior class, because I think this senior class, outside of maybe a Sonny Styles, you could say has kind of been overshadowed by the class before them that stuck around and stayed and played that extra year. And then this team of underclassmen here that have kind of led this team this year with Caleb Downs and Arvell and Carnell and Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin, who even have more football to play here at Ohio State after this. But this senior class could be the one that does something historic that's never been done before.
You're exactly right. And they're in such a crazy spot because they've accomplished so much, and they've talked about it. They've accomplished so much, but they've also have no gold pants, and they haven't won a Big Ten. So it's such a strange position they're in, where the pressure next week will crack diamonds. I mean, that's what's coming, and they all know it. So that's kind of looming over all of this. I can't believe we're here, guys. Honest to God.
I can't either.
I can't believe it's senior day. I can't believe it's the last home game. I can't believe it's all this stuff. We talk about it all the time. When football season starts, you blink and it's January, and here we are. I mean, next week's Thanksgiving. It's crazy. Ryan Day feels the same in terms of it being the last home game already.
I mean, it goes so fast, and great senior day here for everyone to recognize all the hard work that our seniors have put into the program, and we have some great young men that are well accomplished, and we talk about it every time we go over to the golf course for a night meal before a home game, just how fast they go. So whether you're a senior and we're all the way down to a freshman, like, don't wait, because it goes fast. Everybody always says it, and nobody believes it till they're in it. But Saturday will be a great opportunity to celebrate all those guys and the careers and the work they put in.
And certainly, and I addressed this off the top, just the Styles brothers and the legacy component of it, and that will certainly be one of the cool moments. I think we had yesterday the Epitropolis were the only other ones who got to that folks could come up with who got to do it and share it together, and that's been a while. Here is Ryan on the Styles brothers.
It's unique, and both of them had their own journey to get here, but it was great to see Lorenzo take that one back last week, and the stadium was on fire when we returned that back, and very well executed. But Lorenzo's the one that brought the house down for that, so that was great. And he's become a huge contributor to our team, and he's got a lot of versatility in what he does. And we all know what Sonny's been to the program, what he's meant, Blocko Award winner, and just a great player.
Yeah, he is. And, for all of these seniors, like I just mentioned, it's such a unique spot to be honored in a game like this. Obviously, they're aware of who the opponent is. They're not ignorant to it. They're very well aware. They know what's coming next week. They know what's going to come the week after it. They know what the ultimate goal is, but you have these two massive goals that are in between it. So just a really unique day tomorrow, I think. And Caden Curry, who we don't hear from too much, was asked earlier this week what he's taking away from his time as a Buckeye.
Speechless. No idea what happened with that.
It's all good.
Click on it again, and it could just give you
more of it. It's gone. Yeah. It's gone.
Let me try over here.
When you come to college, I feel like you already have it figured out. You know what's going to happen, you know how it's going to happen. And then when you actually get the realization of how hard it is here, definitely being at this, top tier place. So much work that's to actually be put in, not just kind of just showing up and it'll happen. So, definitely being able to kind of go through that grind factor, I feel like it's changed me and kind of showed me that, good stuff doesn't come easy. And it's definitely just turned me to the player I am today.
Yeah, there's so many lessons along the way, and it'll be a special moment. There's so many. It's funny as we're sitting here, and I'm reminded of all of the senior days I've been to at Ohio Stadium, and there's other ones too. Like you think of Ryan Shazier wearing Christian Bryant's jersey on senior day. I oftentimes in the Michigan game reference what Johnny Simon did to try to play in that game, and him in 2012, and not in his pads, not in his helmet, and just trying the best he could to walk. And then as the stories came out later of what he did to try to play, and he could hardly walk, but that's how important it was for him to play in that game. If you think about some of the ways that it changes your life, this game. Like the Darren Lee touchdown against Michigan where he poses at the end like that. You think about the injury that happened to J.T. Barrett in the Michigan game, and then Cardell got thrust in, and nobody really knew what to expect with all of it. Has anyone's life changed more by what happened in that game than Zach Bourne? That image is an iconic image in Ohio State history.
Everywhere you look in the city, almost, that image.
It changed his life.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. That's the power of it. Now, those are Michigan moments, but there's plenty of others, too, that are out there in terms of how special it can be. Now, as I mentioned, those are Michigan games. We've got a Michigan game next week. It's in Ann Arbor. It looms over everything this team does, and you can feel it the last couple of weeks specifically. How has this team balanced being such massive favorites while also preparing for the ultimate game next week? We'll hear from them on that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront costs before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company, you can trust.
It's Happy Honda Days and Black Friday savings together at your main Honda of Dublin. Strike now because through December 1st, get 0% APR up to 60 months on new Hondas. And you're even going to get 90 days until your first payment on both new and used vehicles. Rich has hundreds of vehicles in stock. The selection has never been better. It's your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road just south of 270. In-stock units only, not valid on prior sales. With approved credit, must qualify through primary lender. See dealer for details.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Football Friday. Buckeyes playing the final home game of the season tomorrow at noon against Rutgers, as predicted here a couple of weeks ago. It is a big noon kick. Of course, they are playing the Scarlet Knights, but they are not seeing anything other than maize and blue. And I think it's been this way for a couple of weeks. I think everything they do, Reese brought this up on Monday. I thought it was very well put. The champions grade going to 83, the way that Ryan was on the sidelines in a blowout win last week against UCLA. They are building towards, they're already there. They're already at Michigan week. You're going to play Rutgers. It's a formality is the way that it seems. That's what all of us are talking about. I'm sure in the back of their heads just up the road, that's what they're thinking about too. Up at the Woody is that's always there. Everything we do is about that game. And I'm sure that they're going to be making decisions on who plays, who doesn't, how they play, how much they play, based on the idea of what's coming next week. And the job for Ryan Day and his staff is to do their best to make sure that sentiment does not reach their players. Ryan calls it outside noise. It's inside noise too, because it's everywhere you look. Here is Coach Day on trying to keep this team focused on the job at hand while also having an eye on what's coming next week.
I mean, every week is a test, and how we master each week in terms of our process is what we're looking for. And yeah, it's easy to lose focus on what's going on right now when throughout the season there's different things that can drift you away from what needs to be, where all your energy needs to be, and that's it. So that's what we're going to do this week, and that's been a message all along, and it's not going to change next week either. It's from Sunday all the way till we play the game. When the foot hits the ball, we got to be focused on our opponent, and that's what it's going to come down to in the end. So every game we got to take care of the football. Every game we got to tackle well. Every game we got to block. Every game we got to win the X-play battle. Everything that comes with these games. So but this time of year, certainly it's easy to lose focus, and we can't do that. And I think for the most part we've done that this season, but we have to continue to do that, and that's it. As the noise gets louder, we have to continue to stay focused on our individual jobs, whether it's coaches or players, making sure that we're doing our part as a team to help us reach our goals, and that's it. The rest of it is stuff that we can't control or stuff that doesn't matter.
In a sense, as much as we've lamented the schedule, guys, I think in a way it's kind of the perfect schedule in November for this team. Like, you don't really have to break a sweat since like second quarter of Penn State, and you can kind of just cruise. And I don't think they have cruised. I think the injuries caught up with them last week at receiver, and it was probably a little sloppier than it needed to be because of that. And I don't have any idea what they're going to do tomorrow at receiver. The Carnell one, I definitely have some yellow lights into red lights on Carnell Tate about that. I'm a little concerned there. I think Jeremiah will be more than fine by the time you get to Michigan, and who knows what will happen tomorrow if they play him or not, if they have him run a couple of goes just to put it in the stat sheet. I don't know. You don't really need either one of them. You shouldn't. I think you could go single wing and just run it with Lincoln and the running backs and probably beat Rutgers tomorrow. But that's the job. That is their job, is to make sure that they are building to something much bigger than all of them next week. Lorenzo Styles has been here for a while. Had the great kick return last week. Weighed in on the idea of if it's difficult to focus for an opponent like Rutgers with Michigan looming.
I mean, that's kind of easy to do. If you really, our coaches were just talking about this. If you look at the stats a little bit, looking at the rusher number 3, he has 1,000 yards. Looking at the receivers, he has more than Jeremiah. The quarterback passing yards, he has more than Julian, and we think we have some of the best guys in the country. So this is a real team coming in, and we're taking them serious, and we're prepping up and getting ready to go put out on the line this weekend. That's clearly what they're trying. They're showing them. I mean, he just told you what they're doing.
They're saying, look, they got 1,000 yards rusher. They got this. They got this. They got this. You're worried about Michigan. You got to worry about these guys. That's the job. That's what coaching is. I mean, what percentage of their job at this point in the season is psychological? 70%?
I would say 75, 80%.
Yeah, schematically, they're set, Reese.
You're not trying to implement too much. You're not trying to get these guys into a new routine. I mean, they're so routine-oriented that this time in November, you've been doing everything robotic since August. And now it's just kind of going through those motions, and the motions can be monotonous. And so for all of these coaches, it's how do we challenge these guys? And I wonder for Ohio State's defense, for guys like Lorenzo Styles, you just have Ethan Kaliak-Manis. Like, you got to recognize that guy. And it's like, well, I don't care. I mean, you do, but you don't. Because it's all about Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
But you can't let that, permeate until Monday or Sunday.
I like Lorenzo just going with the number there rather than saying Kaliak-Manis. I think that's easier. You
Football
just go
guy.
with the numbers.
Go with 3.
Ryan Day's talking about as the noise gets louder, you have to be more focused. That's kind of like listening to Ryan there. As the background noise behind him gets louder, you've got to really try to listen and hear
some serious grunting going
hear what
on.
he says on those Wednesday availabilities at the Woody. But it just goes to show you, and it almost sounds, you mentioned the word robotic, Reese, with talking about them going through their motions and doing what they're doing, their process and all of that. That's how these guys answer these questions too. I mean, they have everything locked down to how these guys are answering questions with the media now. And they, these guys that have been around like Lorenzo and Sonny and Caleb, when they talk to the media, they even sound like coaches. Like they've got them so locked
pros.
in and on point.
Yeah.
Everything they're doing.
Do you know what the schedule is for next week, availability-wise?
So I think I saw that the Ryan Day show is going to be on Wednesday. I think his presser is probably still on Tuesday, but I would have to look and make sure with that. We did see an email about that last week, I think.
Yeah, it used to be in the Tress Urban days, a lot of times that the Michigan presser was Monday. So they would do them at the same time, like here in Ann Arbor. Like 1 year I had to go to the one in Ann Arbor and do that one up there. It was when Rich was there. And it happened at the exact same time. So it was on Monday, both around noon, and they would kind of knock it out. And then it was the thing that they would do differently in that week in the past is like all of it was done by Monday at like 1:00. The whole thing was done. And you get a coach's show, but that's it, because that was contractually obligated. Everything else would be done by the time you got to Monday. And there really is no blueprint here in terms of a surefire way to know for certain how to prepare all of this. If you're Ryan Day, you're doing the best you can. We have seen Tressel's approach to Michigan was so buttoned up, to the Michigan game was so buttoned up. It was so outwardly, and you can talk to Bob, and Bob's talked about this. Threes has talked about it. AJ, a lot of these guys, Schlegel, a lot of these guys have talked about it. Tress internally was very different than he was externally Michigan week. Like he was much more externally. You didn't get much out of him. I mean, it was very buttoned up. That's how he got the senator nickname, right? I mean, and ironically, now he's the lieutenant governor, but it was very political, the way that he his style was to the Michigan game. Urban couldn't be more different than that. Urban was all of it. Like it was pedal to metal, and he would talk about all of it openly, and it just, the way he would talk about it was really quite stunning. So there's different ways to handle it. You just have to be authentic to, I think, who you are. And for this team, as they've gone through this stretch of Purdue, UCLA, and now Rutgers, I think it looms over everything they do. And I think what Ryan probably wants tomorrow, if I were to guess game flow tomorrow, I think you're up 28 in the first half, or even 21 in the first half. And then it's kind of just, let's put this thing in the garage and we'll take it out next week. I think this is, and I said this earlier in the week, this is not a Buckeye cover city for me. I don't think they're going to have that approach at all. I think it's going to be get to a point you're comfortable and then downshift, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I do wonder at what point, or if they've even I'm sure they've discussed this, but I wonder what the point margin or the margin would have to be before they start unloading the bench. Because
he's always said 4 scores, Reese. Always.
Yeah.
28.
And that feels, right. And I do think the onus should be on health and getting every single player who's contributed at all, whether it's practice or on the scout team, get them in the game so they can, at least have a couple snaps at Ohio Stadium.
I think that I would not, and here's the reality of it. They could win this game like 35-10 or 35-7 or 35-14, and Rutgers isn't in a vicinity of being competitive in this game. And you're going to get to the post game, and not a single question will be about Rutgers unless there's an injury, God forbid. It's all going to be about Michigan, and it's all going to be about that's it. So it's going to be the most forgettable. It's going to have this incredible memory of the start of it that comes with Senior Day, but the most forgettable game, barring injury, that we've had around here.
I forgot.
Like, it's just going to come and go.
Ringing the victory bell tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's interesting you bring him up.
Yeah, I wish they needed to save that. To save that one for next year. That's when you get that one done.
The track record of Ryan Day tells me that unless somebody is actually banged up and there's some health concerns, the starters are playing tomorrow until the fourth quarter. That's just how it's always been. Now, if you say Carnell Tate plays, which I don't think he will, but say he does, you may only see him in the first half. Or if, Arvell or Sonny had something nagging, you wouldn't see them play the whole game. But for the most part, I think you're going to see Bo Jackson in there until the fourth quarter. I think you're going to see the starting offensive and defensive lines in there until the fourth quarter, just because that's what we've seen from Ryan Day.
I think it'll mimic last week.
Which that was the fourth quarter, right?
For some. I mean, they kind of mixed them in. Peyton Pierce played a lot in the first half. They moved them around.
And they've been doing that all year.
They have been.
Non-talent.
I think they mix it up a little bit. All right, much more on the Buckeyes coming up on the football side of things at the top of the hour. That would be 10 o'clock. We'll take a look at the night in sports. Adam Fantilli had himself a night. We had a Thursday nighter that nobody saw coming. It's all coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Hey, it's Matty Ice. Are you ready for the best Black Friday truck deals? Head over to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, where the savings are happening all month long. You can lease a brand new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 for just $349 a month for 24 months with only $1,000 due at signing. Or if financing is more your style, grab it for just $679 a month for 84 months for qualified buyers. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Ooh, winter's coming. And when the wind starts to blow, don't come inside to the cold. Open the door to peace of mind with your Waterworks and Header Precision Furnace Tune-Up and Energy Savings Plan. Your furnace is the heart of your home, and Waterworks and Header will have yours running at peak performance throughout the winter. Plus, you'll save on those energy bills too. Go to waterworks.com and schedule your furnace tune-up online. Waterworks and Header, heating, cooling, and plumbing, together to serve you better.
If you haven't felt the rush of the holiday season, trust me, it's coming. Eric Reeser here. Get your body ready for all the tailgating and all the turkey at Hydrate Me Med Spa. They've got 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments to help you look and feel your best during the hustle and bustle. I dropped into their Dublin location for an ozone therapy treatment. They infused my blood with medical-grade ozone that gave me a much-needed energy boost and properly prepared my immune system to tackle cold days and crowded stadiums. Look great, feel great today. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is the Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. It's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telhio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
It's Happy Honda Days at John Hinderer Honda. Get 0% financing for 60 months on any new Honda Accord in stock at John Hinderer Honda on Route 79 in Heath or HindererHonda.com. Buy a vehicle and we'll donate a Thanksgiving dinner to a local family in need.
Restrictions apply. 0% to well-qualified buyers. Can't combine offer. See dealer for details. It's 12/2/25.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in Ohio.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Quite a bit going on the sports calendar last night. Always fun to see a hockey game in Toronto. Always a little juice to it. I do wonder if Adam Fantilli played for the Leafs, would he be Austin Matthews? Because it feels like when he plays in that barn, he pots them. That image of the game winner in overtime that the Jackets posted last night, smoke that. I mean, frame that sucker up, baby. That is a stunning shot. That was awesome.
It's a heck of a tight angle shot from him.
Yeah. Really was. Again, though, now they get the win. They get it in overtime, but now we do have a trend here where we take leads into the third period and then give them up in the third. I mean, this seems to happen. How many of these in a row has Jet been involved with?
It seems like a lot. I mean,
is it like 5 of 6 or something like that?
The Jackets have points in 6 of their last 7.
Yeah.
And a lot of these have been going to overtimes and shootouts. And Jets played most of them, all of them but one.
Yeah. I mean, this has kind of been the script we've been following for a little while now. So, nice win for them. And then next week is really one of my favorite making a run at it weeks for the Blue Jackets in terms of the schedule, the way that it all shakes out. And this is usually, excuse me, it's usually the way that it works. My hunch is the Jackets make requests to the NHL to make sure that they have these Thanksgivings, because it feels like they're always playing on first Friday of Thanksgiving and then the Friday after, especially leading into the Michigan game where it's here or there. So they're at Detroit Saturday, at Washington on Monday. Then those home games are Toronto on first Friday next week, which is the first Friday, and then Pittsburgh on really one of the best nights of the year to have a hockey game.
But when I was attending games as a fan, when I really got into it, there were 3 nights for me that were can't miss. It was the home opener, it was the last home game of the season, and it was the Wednesday Thanksgiving game.
Yeah,
those were the can't miss for me. New Year's Eve was in there too. There's a lot of years they had a home game on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Not so much now, but those were 3 can't miss.
Yeah, those are days when the barn's pretty special. So that next week plays out pretty well for them. A couple other things, big pictures on the sports world last night. The unranked Ohio State women's soccer team beat top-seeded Notre Dame 1-0 in double overtime. First round of the NCAA College Cup play. They play 5th-seeded Baylor in the Sweet 16 on Sunday, but that is a monumental win for them. So that was very cool to see. Buckeye basketball with an impressive win over Western Michigan, never really close, 91-58 the final there. Does feel like Christoph Tilley is the kind of the key to this thing. For me, if they're going to be a team that's a second weekend NCAA tournament, he might be the reason why that's the case. And that's just because of the rest of it, I think, is pretty known. Like, I think I know what Thornton's going to be. I know what Junie Mobley can be. I know what Devin Royal's going to be. Amari Bynum could be someone who gets an even bigger role as it goes along. But Tilly, to me, feels like kind of the linchpin of success for them this year.
Yeah, I'm real curious to see how Tilly plays in some of those Big Ten games against true post-present centers.
Yeah.
Tilly's game does feel like a lot of Euro center ball. Also, anybody but Christoph Tilly that near 6 foot or near 7 foot don't shoot threes. Like like Yagovin's taking shots at the top of the key. Like, can we just? I know we're goofing around with Western Michigan. Everybody's having fun, but
buddy. That's basketball now. Like, there is
I don't need Yagovin taking a heat check.
I know, but I'm telling you, like, this is where it is.
You're
like,
right.
Whatever level you're at, everybody can shoot. I mean, I think it's probably, if you have to point to like one guy who flipped it, it's probably Nowitzki, in terms of who made it really mainstream for 6'10", 6'11" guys to be shooters. But it started, even before that. If you think of like Arvydas Sabonis and Tony Kukoc, it's the Euro view of if you're tall, shoot it. And now we're at the point where in the league, I mean, everybody shoots it. Chet Holmgren, 7 foot plus, shoots threes left and right. Like, this is the game now. Like, there is no back to the basket big guy anymore. Like, everybody shoots it.
And it does. This is early, but early returns seem to point to Jake Diebler's portal persons much improved from last year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so important in them making a run in the Big Ten tournament, and then fingers crossed, knock on wood, the NCAA tournament.
I love Tilly. When they made the transfer and I started looking into his game, I really enjoyed what I saw. The one question I had then was, how is this going to look against Michigan State? Like, is he going to struggle against Michigan State? And I guess I just think that way. I probably should have thought Purdue first, but there's just so many years of track record of Michigan State just beating people up in the paint that was where my head went first. So that's going to be fun. I think maybe the X factor on this Ohio State team this year is Amari Bynum, though. Reese and I were talking before the show. Unless you just want to keep the energy that he brings coming off of the bench, I wonder how long until he's in the starting lineup and maybe Brandon Knoll was coming off the bench, because there are a lot of things that Amari Bynum can do that other people on that team can't do, other people on this planet can't do like he does. And he seems like a guy that he just brings just this enthusiasm and joy on the court and this energy and juice. And I wonder if you can keep that out of the starting lineup much longer.
Well, my guess is, I mean, you got to get in Jake's head on this, but my guess is that he might like him in that spot.
Yeah.
And he'll still be one of those guys who finishes. But sometimes when you have somebody who just gives you this giant burst of energy, it's kind of cool having him off the bench. Either if you're trailing early or even if you're ahead, then it's like, now we got to deal with this guy and the energy he brings. There could be something to that. We're going to find out how good this team is in the next. I mean, you basically have a month to figure it out. Today's November 21st. If you go all the way to December 20th, you've got games against Mount St. Mary's next week. Then they're at Pitt, at Northwestern. Illinois here on December 9th is a banger. That's massive. Then they got West Virginia up in Cleveland, and then North Carolina in one of those made-for-TV games. I'm not sure. That one's down in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah, heck of a December.
So, yeah, that's smart. There's that ESPN game. Like, oh, yeah, we're not running the college football playoff because we have a odd college basketball game on a Saturday.
I wonder if they could just pull an audible next year and have them be at home sites. Like, if you play Ohio State, North Carolina in Chapel Hill, like, it's so much. I know that the sterile sponsor thing, but what a miss. What a miss.
Total miss on so many fronts. Like, if you play that here or there, it's great. And I don't understand what the televisions get out of it. Networks get out of it. That's the thing I don't see. Wouldn't they rather have the home environment?
Because it'll look like crap. It'll sound like crap.
Yeah, there's not going to be anybody there.
Have we gotten more used to the gray court yet on TV? Because I haven't.
It's tough watch. It's tough watch. Yeah, it is. I mean, you got to own it. It's tough. It's really, really bright.
I bet it does look really cool in person, though. But on the TV, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, second hour of the program coming up next. This time of year has to matter no matter how they screw up all the rest of this. And a potential yellow flag into a red flag on the Big Ten television deal. Subleasing? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hold on to your butts. Rivalry Week is coming.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Starting on Monday, we get you ready for, The Fan.
Don't let credit hold you back. Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall welcomes all credit types with open arms. Find your dream ride and get approved fast. Call 614-861-7150 or on the web at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Back for a limited time, the French dip from Firehouse Subs. Piled high with premium roast beef, caramelized onions, and melty provolone cheese on a freshly toasted garlic butter roll. Served with warm, savory au jus for dipping. This premium French dip is only at Firehouse Subs for a limited time. Head to your nearest Firehouse Subs or order ahead and skip the line. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last.
Gift big this year with a Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across the Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana region since 1983. This year's house was built by Three Pillar Homes in the Evans Farm community in Lewis Center and has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 2-car garage. It also includes amazing features like upstairs laundry, 2 covered patios, 1 with a fire pit, a great room with fireplace, mud room with extended bench seat and open lockers, kitchen and morning room. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
This holiday, give a gift that changes everything. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Our family's helped couples celebrate love for over 78 years. From timeless solitaires to custom designs that reflect your unique story, our in-house jewelers ensure every detail shines. And with our guaranteed best price, you can shop with confidence, knowing your forever piece is as exceptional as your love. This holiday, make her wish come true with the Diamond Cellar ring, because the only thing better than unwrapping a little blue box is saying yes to forever.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man again for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got game day watch parties every Saturday, plus your chance to earn big bucks. Mikey Likey.
I like it. You can earn tier points by playing all throughout November, and on Black Friday, you can win up to $100,000.
And you good, clean boys and girls can drop off a non-perishable food item every Tuesday and win up to $5,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a new member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit. Doggies. Must be 21 and over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my goodness, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Your credit, your car, our promise. At Capital Florida Columbus and Whitehall, we approve all credit types. Perfect, challenged, or none. Drive off today with easy financing. Visit today or online at capitalfloridacolumbus.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Top-ranked Ohio State will celebrate Senior Day Saturday at the Shoe. Buckeyes are 32.5-point favorites, hosting Rutgers for a big noon kick. We'll have that game on the Fan with pregame coverage tomorrow morning at 6:30. Ohio State's at Michigan next Saturday at noon. In the NFL last night, the Texans beat the Bills 23-19. Houston's defense sacked Josh Allen 3 times and turned Buffalo over 3 times. They sacked him 8 times, turned him over thrice. Texans 6-5 on the season. They'll get CJ Stroud back next week against the Colts. On the ice last night in Toronto, Adam Fantilli's overtime goal pushed the Blue Jackets over the Maple Leafs 3-2. Fantilli had 2 goals and an assist in the win. Jackets are going to play at the Red Wings tomorrow. That'll be a 1 o'clock face-off. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Get a holiday loan from BMI Federal Credit Union and choose a loan amount from $1,000 to $5,000. Visit bmifcu.org/holiday loan for more details.
The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Saturday at noon Mountain Time in Missoula, Montana, the second-ranked Montana Grizzlies will host the third-ranked Montana State Bobcats. There will be 35,000 people at Washington Grizzly Stadium. The stadium is located at the base of Hellgate Canyon, which sounds about as cool as it actually is. If you do a quick Google search, you'll see the stadium and you'll see the setup. And it pains me to say this, but it is better. It's better than the Montana State setup. It is. It's the best place. Like, I know Game Day went to the Montana State game a couple of years ago, and it was great. It was freezing. I think like 30 below zero air temp type stuff. But the one, if you were going to go to from an atmosphere standpoint, is the one in Missoula. That's the one. I'm saying all this from the standpoint of, for all of the conversation we have about how broke the calendar is and how broke the sport is at the moment, and the stuff that, like, what's going on with the Ole Miss situation and people coming at Kiffin, like, he's got to make a decision. He's got to do all of these things. Man, he's coaching the number 6 team in the country that is in unprecedented territory for themselves, and that with a win in the Egg Bowl next week, they're going to get a chance to compete for a national championship. Ole Miss has never been in that spot. Like, the idea that he has to make this decision to appease people at Ole Miss or LSU or Florida, that he's got to make it right now so that they can get started on next year. Man, he's in the middle of this year. He's in the middle of this year. And all of this stuff. I mean, there's going to be players, guys. I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm not convinced it didn't happen last year with Tennessee. There are going to be players who say, if I don't get more money, I'm not playing. And all of this ugliness is around the sport. I don't know if you guys saw the story yesterday. Did you see this story? NBC is talking about subleasing games, including the next year's Big Ten championship game, subleasing it to Fox and Amazon for the money.
Oh, Netflix is also part of that.
I'm sorry, Netflix. I'm sorry, not Fox. Netflix and Amazon for the money. Remember, this is the Big Ten championship game that Kevin Warren threw in the fine print that NBC got that isn't on Fox, and it's like nobody noticed it. So they're trying to make money off of the Big Ten championship game for next year by subleasing it to streamers, Netflix and Amazon, or attempting to. They're in discussions about it. John Oren of the Puck reported it last night, that this is what happens. Like, this sport is so screwed up on so many levels, and yet the game endures. In Missoula, Montana tomorrow, there will be 100,000 people in a vicinity of a stadium that holds 35,000. The party will start at 8 o'clock in the morning. People will be drinking Caesars and red beers and bloody beers and all of that stuff. And it's going to go until 2 o'clock in the morning, win or lose. There's going to be some fights, I promise you. There will be some fights.
Looking at the high for Missoula tomorrow is 45.
Yeah, perfect.
It's, partly cloudy.
Yeah. Outside of Stockman's Bar tomorrow, someone in blue and gold is going to fight someone in maroon and silver. Book it. That's happening. I promise you. I know. I've seen me do it. So
Gosh,
that's all coming.
I see me do. I want to go now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I want to see it in person.
I mean, that's what we love about this sport, college football, paramount to anything else. Because you don't get this, you don't get things like that anywhere else.
That's what endures. And that's the thing that's pretty crazy about it, because it stands up to all the corruption around it. And it stands up. It's bigger than even the adults in the room. And it's a little bit different now. And there's a great many of you out there listening that remember this game being played this week, like the game being played this week. I mean, that's how it was forever. And then we added a championship. And then we keep adding all of these things to add money and revenue and all of it. And as much as the adults try to ruin it, it does endure. It holds up. It's fine. It's never been more popular. And I think that's a magical thing, that it still has that it still has all of those factors to it. So I'll have our game on, and at 2:00 Eastern, Cat Grizz is going on alternate screen. And I'm gonna go back to Missoula, Montana for an afternoon. That's the way that's gonna go. And there's probably stories like that mimic around the country this weekend, and even more so next weekend, which is the real rivalry weekend now in college football. It's all been pushed back to next week, but it stands up and it holds up.
And it's to me, it is a bummer that next week doesn't mean everything.
I agree.
For both of these schools. That is a bummer to me. Now, you still, like, I've already got butterflies in my stomach about it and nerves. Like, you can't lose 5 in a row, right? And
I know.
I do know, like, there's a lot on the line. Like, everybody's kind of saying all the pressure's on Ohio State. And I believe that it is. But if Ohio State would happen to do the unthinkable next weekend, they're still making the college football playoff. They can still win a national championship and get their ultimate goal. For that team up north next week, they have to win to have a shot at the national championship and all their goals. So there is pressure on them. I do think there's more on Ohio State because of the last 4 years, and that's still there. And that rivalry feeling and wanting to beat that team is always there. You just lose just a little bit, that not all of the marbles are on the line next week.
I agree. It won't fit, but I will say this. That sentiment will be things that are talked about next week a little, but it won't be something you feel Saturday in Ann Arbor.
Not at all.
You won't feel like that at all.
I don't even know if anybody can really put into words what you're going to feel Saturday morning, like next Saturday morning, waking up for that.
I know what it's going to feel like. I mean, it's going to be, you're going to be a bundle of nerves is what you're going to be.
And that Sunday morning, when Ohio State wins, like, that's going to be jubilation, because you haven't felt that in a while.
Yeah.
It's been since 2019 that you felt that.
Right. Yeah.
It's bad because you said when, and I go, ugh.
Well, I'm not throwing throwing anything else out in the atmosphere.
No, it's already out.
I'm not doing it.
Brother, it's already out there. 2019's a long time ago.
Well, it isn't going to be my fault. That's for damn sure.
There's a lot happening around the sport this weekend in regard to how things could shake out. I mentioned Kiffin. Matt Zenitz reporting yesterday that when Kiffin is hired as LSU's head coach, LSU is open to bringing former Tigers head coach Ed Orgeron back to being part of Kiffin's staff. Obviously, those two work together at USC, and I think Orgeron maybe was with Kiffin at Tennessee too. I could be wrong though on that, but there's a lot of familiarity between those two, and that would make sense. It sucks for Lane that he's in the middle of this thing, and I know a lot of people are really critical, including like politicians in Mississippi, are like, he needs to own this. He's got to come up and he's got to stand behind his team. Man, it's a life decision, and it's not his fault that this calendar is so broken that this is when this happens. It's not his fault. Like, he's making a decision in the midst of impossible spot that's going to impact his life over the next 5 to 10 years. That's the reality of it. And we can all say it's easy. He makes a lot of money. Who wouldn't ever leave Ole Miss and all this? But you don't know what his why is. If he wants to win a national championship, can he really do it at Ole Miss? It's never been done. I mean, you got to go back to the 50s and different sport almost at that time. But you can win a national championship at LSU in Florida. You know that. That's been done. We've all seen it. So it's just a really tough spot in terms of how broken the calendar is that he's in this spot, and it's not going anywhere. My gut, as I told this to Paul Feinbaum yesterday when he was on, I think he's just going to re-sign with Ole Miss, at least in the interim. Next year, if Bama comes open, if something else comes open, he could jump at that. That's probably my hunch. By the way, LSU and Florida could come open again in 2 years. I mean,
who's to think that those
jobs come open?
It's
anytime.
Incredible to me that they would offer, and I do think the Egg Bowl ultimatum's real, and I think that's insane to offer that to your coach. Like, allow this thing to play out. Like, you don't need to, for Ole Miss, you don't need to put any more pressure on this situation.
And careful what you wish for, too.
Because you don't want to think about that because it's so much fun having Lane in Oxford.
Yeah.
But you know that LSU and Florida have enthusiastic booster bases. I'm not sure if Ole Miss has booster bases.
I think they're pretty organized on NIL right now, at least on the portal, because they've had some great portal classes the last couple of years. And when Hugh Freeze was there, they did have the number 1 recruiting class in the country. So it's a lot different than it was 20 years ago. I do think he can win there at a high level, but I mean, it's a lifestyle decision that's going to have to be made on that front. And the thing that is going to be really fascinating is if he does leave, will the committee punish them? Because if he leaves, I think you'll see a lot of Ole Miss portal popping. Like, who even stays at Ole Miss to coach that team? I joked yesterday, is it Houston Nutt?
Coach O come back and do that?
Coach O?
Well, I think the nice thing for
that's real.
I think the nice thing for them, though, is the portal is in January, so they'll have that 30-day window right away, and then they could be like, well, let's see how it goes in the college football playoff and then decide. So that might help them from losing everybody before the college football playoff. I understand that Virginia Tech, I know they hired James Franklin.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they were not in the running for Kiffin at all. I wonder if Kiffin is the domino that everybody is waiting for to fall, and then everybody's going to boom, 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 start hiring all these coaches.
It feels like it. It feels like he is. And it does seem like Penn State, I talked to my buddy again this week about Penn State. It seems like their feeling over there is like they already know their answer that's just not public. And I don't know who that would be. And they are pretty confident in what they have. And I'm like, okay. Now, he didn't give me a name, but I'm like,
that's what I was wondering. Did he offer any sort of name or idea of whom it might be?
What do you know that I don't? Probably a lot. But
that tells me it's somebody that's a head coach somewhere else right now, or a coordinator that's on a team that's going to the college football playoff.
Yeah, I don't know how you could, at this point in their history, go with a coordinator. I think it is
I would think they would not want to do that as well.
No. It could be like a Clark Lee or Drinkwitz, where they're still kind of in the middle of things.
That's the name I was thinking, Drinkwitz.
Yeah, that would make some sense. All right, we'll get back to the college stuff. Tim May coming up at 10:30. Coming up next, NFL. Could Burrow play Sunday? Are you watching these injury reports? It feels like it's in play. We'll get to it. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've hit your medical deductible, now's the time to see Dr. Mark Levy. Get a custom oral appliance that stops snoring and helps you ditch that CPAP and pay less out of pocket. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com before the year ends.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Toyotathon is on. Get in the spirit of the season with a new Toyota. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corollas and Corolla hybrids. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing,
T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Did you know Austin and Berm host a show at Roosters? And did you know that Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? Tickets, sideline passes, trips to a postseason game, and more. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't let your insurance benefits go to waste. End the year sleeping better with Dr. Mark Levy's oral appliance. No mask, no noise, just results. Hurry, deductibles reset soon. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com today.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
From teachers and paraeducators to custodians, school counselors, bus drivers, and more, it takes every adult working in our public schools to support student success. This American Education Week, please thank the dedicated public school educators in your life, because great public education means a better future for us all.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see scattered showers throughout the day. Could have some heavy downpours at times, with temperatures topping out in the low 50s. We will see rain chances increase later tonight, especially overnight, with some heavy downpours possible and lows right around 40 degrees. But for Saturday, for Buckeye football, we do see more sunshine as we go throughout the day, with afternoon highs topping out in the low 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
It's Friday, and there's football. I shall call it Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for all things football. The Fan. When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we are proudly sponsored and brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Buckeye Jewelry starting at just $99. Holidays coming up. Go check them out. Sawmill, Easton, they got you back. Is Joe Burrow going to play? Is he going to play Sunday? I keep looking at these practice reports.
Looks like it's trending.
Yeah, for the second straight day, Joe Burrow had a full practice. He was listed as a full participant in the practice. T. Higgins was asked about this yesterday. He said, quote, "I don't know if that was good or bad, but I assumed good in regard to Burrow and if he's going or not." He said, "Joe's been looking outstanding, man. He's slinging it deep, short routes. Everything's been pretty good. He's been a full participant in Wednesday's practice and Thursday's practice. Obviously, he's fully open to return. That goes back to November 10th. He had the 21 days to return, so he's going to play in that window. I guess he doesn't play. He's got to be on the active roster in that window. Joe Flacco, who had been starting, has been dealing with limited participation in practice the last couple of days, was limited again yesterday. Today will be the day to really watch to see. I do want to take a second to explain like the limited, full, and the designations on all of that as far as the NFL is concerned. So Burrow as a full participant that means that he is a full participant based on where he is on the roster. So if you are the second string quarterback and you are a full participant, that means you're running scout team. Okay? That's what that means. So Joe Flacco as a limited participant would mean that Joe Flacco, as of right now, is still the one, but he's not participating in everything, so Joe's getting some of those reps. So that, just to make sense of it all, when they say Burrow's a full participant, it also depends on where his designation is on the roster versus what he's doing. It doesn't necessarily mean he's getting all the ones, but I think he has been the last couple of days. He did all the 11 on 11, and that's one work. Like, this is the NFL, kids, as we went over earlier this week in regard to Shedeur. Like, backup quarterbacks don't get reps. You just don't. Burrow's different, and so, like, would I be shocked if he played Sunday at home against New England? No. It feels like that's where they're trending.
To me, it would make the more sense than to do it next week against Baltimore on Thursday night. You have him at home. Certainly for the Brown family, you get more, obviously a bump in tickets, obviously more interest from that fan base. Brown family loves money. You know, it's the time of the year. You're always thinking about pie. Boy, I'm sure Mike Brown's got pie analogies for you. You won't have Jamar Chase, but I think the Burrow bump would be more helpful at home than a Thursday night game against the Ravens, because they lose the Patriots. I think their season's over anyway, but this would kill it super dead by losing to the Patriots. You
They're
beat
3
New England.
7.
Maybe. No, I can't.
Yeah, you got to win out.
Yeah.
But at least you could. Here's the thing that a win over New England does, Reese, to your point. It does allow you hope. Like, you have Joe Burrow, you have weapons. There is nobody who's impervious to loss. We saw that last night on Thursday Night Football with the Bills. I mean, the Bills' losses, the 2 of the last 3 weeks, getting bombed by Miami and then losing at Houston with Davis Mills.
The Bengals have the Ravens twice.
Yeah.
So.
And Baltimore really has to win a lot of those, too. I mean, they're in a situation where they're kind of in must-win mode. The tickets to get in Sunday at Paycor right now on ESPN, you can get in for a little less than $60. You can get into that one. And if you start the practice report you need to watch as a Bengals fan if you want Burrow to play. And I've had Bengals fans reach out to me and say, "Man, I don't want to see him. Like, stay bad, get a great draft pick, and we'll get Joe back next year. Like, put him in bubble wrap and we'll see him next year." But Joe wants to play. Yeah, Joe wants to play. He's a professional football player. He wants to play. So the practice to watch will be today's. When they practice this afternoon, when that injury report comes out, if he's full again, or if Flacco's limited, pay attention to who's taking the 1 reps in the 11 on 11. That'll tell you who's playing Sunday.
Man, I know he wants to play, and I love that, and I love he's a competitor, but I'm not so sure this is the best thing for the Bengals in the future of their franchise.
Feels rushed, too, right?
Feels like it because he wants to get back out there. And, it's... I keep thinking back to the time he made the comment that the window is my career. And it's like, man, you can't. I thought it was bold of a statement for him to make then. And he's a bold person. Yeah. So this tracks.
So if the doctors clear this and say he's 100% fine and there's no risk of further injuring himself, I'm okay with it. I guess you have to be, right? Let him go out there and play. It sure does seem rush, Bo. When this injury first happened, I think they were saying middle of December was a hopeful time frame for this, and this is way sooner, obviously.
Big, there were some people that saying middle of December optimistically. Like, there were some people thought season ender. Like, we'll see you next year type thing. So the fact that he's coming back here in the third weekend in November is pretty wild stuff. So that'll be something to monitor. And again, pay attention to that practice report. You'll have no such ambiguity up in Cleveland. The Browns know who their starting quarterback will be. It will be Shedeur Sanders. He was thrust into action last week after a concussion from Dylan Gabriel. It was rough. It was really rough. It was 4-16. There were a couple of moments that you could kind of look at and go, oh, there's something there. I know they've been working very hard with him all season, and he admitted this. Kevin Stefanski admitted it this week in terms of being able to trust what he sees and get the ball out quickly and not drift in the pocket. But you are going to revert back to who you are, I think, because it's who you've been for a lot of your life, right? And he's always been he's been typically a superb enough athlete and arm talent and the position that he's in, that he was in a position where he could make plays out of it. in high school at Jackson State and then again at Colorado. You can't do that in the NFL. You can't drift. Plus, it makes their tackles look bad because they're blocking to a spot and protecting a spot, and you're drifting right into where they're blocking people. It's as safe a landing spot to make a debut as you're going to get in the NFL. The Raiders are not good defensively at all. It is climate-controlled dome grass. It's in a time zone that you played the last 2 years of your college career. My hunch is your family can get there pretty easily. I know Colorado plays at night on Saturday, but that's a nothing flight to get down to Vegas to see the game. So you're going to have that going for you, which is nice. You're not going to have to be dealing with swirling wind that you'd have to deal with if you were up in Cleveland this weekend. So it's about as good a spot to make a debut as you're going to get. The man in charge of making sure he's put in a position to succeed is Tommy Rees. He'll be calling the plays on Sunday in Vegas. Here is Tommy on what he thought of Sanders' debut.
Look, I think it's a hard position to be thrown into, obviously, but that is the life of being back quarterback in this league. So a lot of guys have faced that. A lot of guys have played that role. Really proud of the way he fought. We had a chance there going into the last drive and had a chance to really up until the last couple of plays to go ahead and either win the game or tie the game up at the very least there down the stretch. Had a shot there on the second to last play, and obviously the last play didn't go our way, and for a couple of different reasons. But really proud of the way he fought. He stayed resilient. He stayed in the moment. Gave us a chance to win the game at the end of the game. We look forward to coming through on those opportunities down the stretch.
The one thing that he definitely does that Dylan had not done is he is willing to put the ball up and down the field, sometimes in harm's way, but also there are chances for explosives there, and it's something that has really been sorely lacking from this offense since Jameis Winston quarterbacked it last year. Here is Tommy Rees now on Shadour's potential to create those explosive plays.
Yeah, I think again, make him feel comfortable. What are the things that you feel like he excels at? That drive starter, right? He threw a big in cut to Harold that really got us into position. In 2 minutes, you're always looking for a chunk at some point to kind of get the drive going and get you in position to have success down the stretch. So, we're going to tailor it to what he's comfortable with, tailor what he's confident in. We have confidence in our guys down the field to make that play. We have confidence in Gage. When the ball was in the air, I truly believe Gage is going to make this play, especially the way that the turn happened and all that. We've seen Gage make those catches in practice a lot of times, and we have confidence in our guys to make those, and we have confidence in Shador to make those as well.
So if you guys mentioned yesterday, like 50% completions, as many touchdowns and interceptions. Reese, I think you mentioned that. Just for perspective, Cam Ward in his first start this year, and up through the combine, is it Ward or Sanders going number one? Then the combine, that all flipped, and it was all Ward all the time. Now, he had a much tougher debut. It was at Denver, maybe top 3 or 4 defense in the whole league. But Cam Ward's debut was 12 of 28 for 112 and no touchdowns, no picks. In a loss. That was his debut for Tennessee. And I think weapons-wise, it's pretty similar. So he actually Cam Ward played against Vegas in Las Vegas. Now, it was like his 7th start, so you can't really compare the two in that sense. But he was 26 of 38, 222, a touchdown and a pick in a loss to Las Vegas in early October. So
I will keep going back to the idea that the Browns defense will put Shador, I believe, in better situations. Like there's going to be plenty of opportunities because now Geno Smith's the quarterback that we all thought kind of Geno Smith was.
Yeah.
And he'll give the ball to Cleveland that'll put them, in plus territory.
And he'll hold it. So Miles will get home a lot.
So that this all goes back to is there interest, or is there at all interest in the Cleveland Browns at 2-8? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is.
This will be a massive game.
Have we ever had a game in the NFL before where the 4 tight ends in the game are the main receiving threats for these teams? And has there ever been a game where the wide receiver talent is worse than this one?
That's
combined, probably not.
Yeah, that's probably fair. More than fair. Anytime we get to talk to Tim May, he joins us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Winter will be here before you know it, and that means it's time to get your heating and plumbing systems maintained. Our True Comfort membership is designed to keep things in tip-top shape. Thank you for letting us keep your home comfortable and plumbing worry-free. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
And it's a Friday at 10:30, and so the pure joy that is Tim May joins us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Of course, the Tim May Show on FanStreamSports.com. What is your most memorable non-Michigan Ohio State Senior Day?
Oh, shoot! I'm drawing a blank. I thought Rhino had prepped me with Senior Day, not non-whatever.
So
you know what? I don't know if I have one. It might have been. I'm trying to remember the sequence of games, but I don't know if this was even that game, but it might have been in 2007. Did they play? I'm trying to remember who they played in 2007. If they played Illinois
they played Illinois and lost.
So that would be interesting because it doesn't remind me of this, but what's interesting about a game that's before the game, but especially these days, is it's far from being their final game. You know what I mean? So it's like premature. Okay, here's your little token, whatever for of recognition for being here. But by the way, we still got to play 4 or 5 more games. But,
it's totally different. Yeah, and you're right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't really recall. I just remember Troy Smith pawing at the grass with his feet and then them winning the game of the century. I mean, I don't know how you top that one.
There's so many of those. I mean, you think about how the Michigan game that year changed Zach Bourne's life in 2012 with that play. In 14, they lose J.T. Barrett, but those are all Michigan ones. Like the Illinois one, I remember vividly. I remember the Penn State one in 11 when Luke was coaching and DeVere waited, God bless him, and then he finally got to play, and the place went nuts when he was introduced. They lost that game to Penn State. And then 10 years ago today is the loss to Michigan State without Connor Cook.
Yeah,
that's
I forgot
2015.
about that one also with a backup third-string quarterback we'd never heard of from Lima, Ohio. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but those, just the Senior Day aspect of things, yeah, it's just kind of an interesting. It's maybe the highlight of tomorrow, you know.
Yeah, was it? It wasn't. Wasn't that was that 11 where Ryan Shazier wore Christian Bryant's number? Or was that in 12 when Christian got hurt?
I think it was in 12 because I think he wore it at Penn State and stuff. So
yeah, he did. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So this ain't that. Juice Williams isn't walking through the door. 2011 Penn State isn't walking through the door. Hell, even that Michigan State team, which was really, really good, even without Cook at quarterback, they're not walking through the door. This is 30-3.5. How do you think Ryan has managed this week with the maize and blue looming? This month with the maize and blue looming.
Here's
with
the
these
thing.
outsized games.
Here's the thing. You never know what's going on in a man's brain, right? Or what's going on in his mind, the thoughts. But he's been about as consistent as he's been about as consistent as the line separating the lanes on the highway. I mean, as this week, as these weeks have gone by, we're talking about weeks that have gone by where what's looming and what's on the agenda first. And I think he's been extremely consistent. But like I said to Caden Curry on Wednesday, you're a human being, and he kind of smiled at me. I said, you definitely have times away from practice where your brain has to float a little bit. And he said he's been really good on staying off of social media and kind of leaning on his his immediate family inside the Woody and stuff to keep the focus. But these guys are human, man. They got to know what's up next week and what's like Caden said, they want to go out. Last year they won a national championship. They want all three parts of the triad this year. They want to beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and win a national championship. So I don't know. I think they've been pretty good at it, Bo, considering. But you never know what guys truly are thinking, right?
No, of course not. And I think that's, in a way, I think it's helped. I think Ryan's, great up in the championship grade to an 83. And, last week in the game against UCLA, a game that there was never any threat. I mean, that was so ridiculous that Imaliebo didn't play in that game. But you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, there's no chance you're going to lose. But then Ryan is ripping Julian for missing on some throws in the third. And you're like, he's doing everything he can to keep the standard, but it's human nature. Yep.
But the other thing they've got going, I don't know if it got going for him is the correct term of this, but your two primary receivers are, as of Wednesday, he couldn't definitively stand up and say A is going to play, B is going to play. He wasn't going to do that anyway. But I mean, there's a little bit of stuff going on behind the scenes to keep your focus to a certain extent. And I don't know. I think he's done an incredibly good job. I've got Jim Trussell on my podcast that Clay Hall and I are about to record here in just a few minutes. And but I've got him this week and just talking about, along with ringing the bell, but also talking about the job Ryan has done on being methodical about things this entire season. And he's right. I mean, the thing that stood out about Ryan Day, in my opinion, has been from the get-go, from the start, is the focus on one foot in front of the other. I mean, one step at a time. And, that doesn't mean everybody's adhering to it, but if it comes from the top down, look out if you step away from that. But like last week, I mean, that was Julian Sayin throwing to some wide receivers he's not accustomed to throwing to in real games at real game speed. And some of those guys made some mistakes on where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there. And maybe, Julian took a couple of shots that he's used to taking with Jeremiah Smith that, didn't work out for him, So, there's all kinds of reasons why you got to stick to your knitting when it comes to, if that looks a little covered, go somewhere else, So you can understand that. I mean, Ryan is coaching his rear end off.
Yeah, he is. You mentioned the two receivers. So my sense on it, and I know you're talking to folks too, my sense on it, and I don't know if either one will play Saturday. I don't know. The only people who might know that is Ryan and them. I don't know beyond that. But in terms of, it feels like the Jeremiah one is mostly going to be fine. I'm not so sure on the Carnell side of things. I am starting to get some. I'm starting to get some yellow flags on the Carnell side of it. What are you hearing?
Well, of course you are, because nobody's telling you anything of substance. So, the natural thing is, well, he warmed up for Purdue, but then didn't play, and then he didn't play last week, and wasn't even, was listed as unavailable. And so, this has been as battened down as I can remember. I mean, about details about a certain injury or a certain situation. I really don't remember anything being this battened down. And so I'm as curious as anybody to see what the availability report shows tomorrow. I would think the more time, the idea you get is it's a lower leg something with Carnell Tate, and the more time you put between testing it again at race speed, which is what a game is, and not, the better off you are. With Jeremiah, Jeremiah played last week despite having that itch in his get along, and we saw him limping off the field slightly as he left, at the end of the game. And, he was big iced up when he left the building. But I would think, in a pinch, I would think, knowing Jeremiah, I would think he wants to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what kind of decision is made on that. But with Carnell, like I said, the better off, if the kind of injury it looks like he is sustained, you're much better off putting more space between you and the time it happened.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you about the Styles family, because they're going to have this rare thing tomorrow where both Lorenzo and Sonny are going to walk. And I didn't check in with Jack Park on this, but from what we can tell,
I can't remember this ever happening.
The Epitropolis, I think, Tim.
Maybe,
I think there was an Epitropolis family that this happened. And so obviously
I don't think I was around then.
Yeah, probably not. But you're going to get both of them, and then old man is a legend. That is, in all the years, that's a cool moment tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll tell you a cool moment. Yeah. It's just cool moment after cool moment for the Styles family. They're going out with Styles. Last week, the kickoff return, we got to talk to Lorenzo about it again on Wednesday, and his dad was smoking a big cigar after the game and everything. Maybe a few people have returned kickoffs for touchdowns, but nobody any farther, because you only go to 100 yards in college football, right? I'm talking about at Ohio State. So what a moment! And Lorenzo Jr. was the guy that went off, the prodigal son, right?
Yeah.
And came back, and man, what a way for him to go out. But you're right. What a special moment. His brother considered one of the two members of the best linebacker tandem in college football with Arvell Reese, and then Lorenzo Styles Jr. showing his versatility. Playing some high safety at times now. Wherever Matt Patricia decides to put that chess piece, he's willing to go there, and the way he's played. But then, like he pointed out, they've I got this on my podcast for tomorrow too, but other people I'm sure have used it already too. But as he pointed out, Ryan Day and staff are more prone to letting the offensive skill guys do those return kind of games, meaning punting. He goes, he was very honored just to be able to get back there. And then, of course, he turned it up. And, as everybody will tell you after the game, he's the fastest player on the team. And you think about Sonny and how big he is and how fast he is. But you think of Lorenzo, you go, well, what's he all about? Well, he's got speed. I think he showed it. So, the Styles family, wow. And they do some good things for the community, too, man, on top of everything else. They have parlayed, baby.
Yes, they have. It's a beautiful thing, and that'll be a cool moment tomorrow, and I know you'll be there for it. Thanks for your time as always, buddy. We'll do it again next week in a much different tone to it.
It's always a pleasure. You know that, Bo. BEAU. You better stress that next week. See you, man.
I will stress that next week. Tim May Show on FanStreamSports.com, and Tim joined on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Credit challenges? We got solutions. At Capital Florida Columbus and Whitehall, all credit types are welcome. Good, fair, poor, or none. Get approved fast and cruise away happy. Stop in or visit us online at CapitalFloridaColumbus.com.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Lights are going up. Snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
McRib season is here at McDonald's. Right now, enjoy a McRib and pair it with our world-famous fries and an icy cold Dr. Pepper at participating McDonald's for a limited time.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
All credit types are welcome at Capital Ford of Columbus in Whitehall. From perfect scores to starting fresh, we'll get you driving. Shop our huge selection and leave in your new car today. Stop in or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Limit 10. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a football Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
The timing of this couldn't be worse, but we would have to give some props to the Michigan men. On Thursday, Amanda Kristovich of Front Office Sports, great friend of the program, reported the head of the California Pension Fund, who's pitching that investment deal to the Big Ten, is asking supporters of it to pray for the embattled proposal to succeed. On Wednesday, the CIO at UC Investments addressed the now paused deal during a presentation to the University of California Regents Investment Committee. He asked those in attendance, quote, "I hope it happens, and I just request you all to do a little prayer for us," adding, "There is no deal on the table thanks to many regental approval processes that need to happen," end quote. Front Office Sports says the deal was derailed by the boards at Michigan and USC, the Board of Regents for both of those universities, who opposed it for a multitude of reasons and said they would not be signing on. Their reporting adds there was also a growing opposition from a number of Big Ten university board members across the country who said they had not been able to see any key details about the deal and were told by their university presidents could decide to sign on to it without their approval. U of M Regent Jordan Acker suggested to a Sirius XM Raider interview the Wolverines could go independent if the rest of the league signed a grant of rights without them. Mark Bernstein, who's the chair of Michigan's Board of Regents, told the AP this week that Tony Petitti attempted to strong-arm Michigan in a move he said, quote, calls into question his continued leadership in the Big Ten Conference, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
Massive thing. Just massive. I mean, it's future of the conference type stuff. I think Ohio State's position in all of this is a little curious to me, but I do think that, first of all, like the idea that like this guy at the University of California Regents Investment Committee said, quote, "I hope it happens and I request you all do a little prayer for us." Knock it off. Knock it off. Don't pray for nonsense like this. This is
pray the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. The other thing, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but did you hear yesterday when I had Paul on talking about all of this with Petiti, and kind of it feels like Petiti swung for the biggest fence that he could swing for and missed, and now seems like his reputation nationally is probably put into question, and we questioned it this summer just in terms of what is he doing with all of this? What is his plan with all of this? Like, you never hear him talk. Meantime, you hear Sankey everywhere, and it seems like him and Sankey have never been further from being aligned, and I think that's a big problem. And the fact that this is the chairman of the Michigan board saying, quote, "It calls into question his continued leadership of the Big Ten Conference," that's quite noteworthy as well.
So this is a thing, and like you said, Reese, I can't believe we're praising Michigan heading into this week that's coming up next, but good job out of them and USC here for trying to shoot this down. I've actually been looking into the California Pension Fund and this UC Investments a little bit, and there's not a lot of good things here. It seems like this UC Investments is trying to get into sports big time. The California Pension Fund just recently lost 71% of like an almost $500 million they put into some kind of clean energy. California's CalPERS scandal, a $3 billion betrayal of public trust. And then I saw something about the University of California has kind of called into question how some of these funds are being used with UC Investments for their 401k and everything. It just seems like there's a lot of noise around this to want to be getting in bed with them.
I concur.
It was the thing did seem so rushed that when you bring that up, the payday loan thing is also applicable here. So, yeah. Again, if he's asking to pray for this, pray the other way.
Real quick, I wonder where Ohio State, other than the promises of, hey, we're going to get a bigger cut of this and we're going to have more of a say, I wonder where Ohio State and their top men were like, oh, this seems like a good idea.
Well,
I wonder what swayed them.
Yeah, I think some transparency is probably needed on that front, because my feeling would be that they need a big influx of cash too, which doesn't seem like it makes sense. And I know they were promised more than everybody else, along with Michigan and Penn State, and we know that they were going to have a big, big voice in where the conference went. But this does not feel like something Ohio State would want to be on this side of.
To me, Bo, that screams, and I don't know, but to me that screams, we want to keep as many of the 36 sports as possible.
Could be.
You need a lot of cash to do it. Mm-hmm. Last night, Zach Werenski climbed to second all-time in points, career points, by a Blue Jackets player. He had 3 helpers in the Jackets' overtime win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. He passed Cam Atkinson for second on the list. Cam was 402. Rick Nash is first on the list with 547. Before that game happened, though, Z was asked about Bill Simmons' comments calling the Blue Jackets the most irrelevant franchise in sports. This from Z, quote, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. It is what it is, I guess, right? I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I like Columbus. I like playing there, and I don't care what Bill Simmons has to say," end quote. Thing or not a thing?
I'll say the same thing to Zach as we said yesterday. It's not his fault. It doesn't have anything to do with him. That's his job, is to make sure that that's not the case 5 years from now when someone asks the question. And if you want to be relevant, just win. This isn't hard. That's all it is. It's just winning. It has nothing to do with, some of it has to do with the fact that it's a relative expansion team. It has to do with, where it's located, the branding, all of it. It's just the lack of winning. If you win, everybody knows who you are.
I will say this, Zach Werenski certainly isn't irrelevant. He's well known, and most people think he is a top 3 defenseman in the NHL now. He's probably right there in a short list of relevant players the Blue Jackets have had in their history, with Rick Nash, Sergei Bobrovsky, Artemi Panarin, and I think you could say Sergei Fedorov, even though it was at the end of his career. And he's leading the charge here on this next wave of Blue Jackets that hopefully won't be irrelevant. And we saw a lot of them last night with Zach and Adam Fantilli and Kirill Marchenko. Hopefully that's going to lead them out of this irrelevance.
It's just winning. That's it. Just go win. Flips. Just like that.
Stars like Z help with that.
Go win. Be stars. Handle your business. This isn't hard. It's not some big slight on Zach Werenski or the fans or anything. It's just the organization hasn't won much in 25 years, and that's how it happens. Final hour of the program coming up next. We kick it off by attempting to know the scores. Doug Lesmerises coming up at 11:30. What do we want to see for the Buckeyes offensively and defensively against an outmatched Rutgers team? We'll get to it all coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Starting Monday, it's rivalry week. We call it that because the Buckeyes play a very annoying team from Michigan. Clever.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
The Fan.
It's the John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Black Friday event. This is Justin Hinderer. Save up to $12,000 on a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Plus, no payments for 90 days. At John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just north of our Honda store on Route 79 in Heath, or HindererCDJR.com. John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We love what moves you.
In stock only, must finance with SFS. See dealer for details. Ends 12/125.
Dormar, you're pilot hero.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward, and Thanksgiving is approaching quick. Still plenty of time to get your Awaken 180 consultation on the calendar to receive your $500 off. It's a thank you from Awaken 180. No, you don't need to start the program right before Turkey Day. Simply have your consultation now and be ready to start the Monday after. 4 weeks before the new year, and with results like mine, you could be down 27 pounds on your way to dropping 50. Fast results, and now with $500 off. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Diamond Sellers bring the world's finest jewelry to you at our annual holiday gala December 4th through December 6th. Celebrate the season of sparkle with up to 25% off for 1 weekend only at our Sawmill Road and Easton locations. Visit diamondseller.com/gala to learn more.
From moving compliance targets to shifting regulations, the pressure to stabilize is growing. At Plant Moran, we help you meet complexity with confidence. We cut through the noise and give you the tools to act, ground your planning in insights, and tailored tax strategies from senior specialists so the next step you take is on solid footing. Don't chase stability, lead with it. Plant Moran. Stability, period.
Shop Meijer this Thanksgiving and bring more good to your table with incredible savings on seasonal favorites. Enjoy a Meijer frozen turkey for just 39 cents per pound with M-Perks. Limit 1 per customer, no clipping necessary. Russet potatoes are 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. Select varieties of Aunt Millie's Big and Fluffy Rolls are $3.29 a dozen. And don't forget to top up your meal with the fresh from Meijer 10-inch pumpkin pie for $8.99. Make Thanksgiving a good deal better with savings on the whole meal. At Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
What's up? It's Matty Ice. Black Friday deals are here and they're happening all month long at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, you can lease a brand new 25 or 26 Chevy Trax LT for just $299 a month for 36 months. Or if you prefer to finance, get it for only $329 a month for 84 months for qualified buyers. With over 20 Trax in stock, you're sure to find the perfect fit for your lifestyle. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Dormar, you're pilot hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the tin man.
Timmy Hall here, proud to be back for my 4th year supporting Nationwide Children's Hospital and Light Up the Lawn, Light Up a Life. The holidays can be tough for kids and families spending it in the hospital. So now through December 31st, more than 100 giant illuminated butterflies will shine on the hospital lawn, each one sparkling to life with every single donation. When patients see those butterflies glow, they'll know their community's thinking of them, sending waves of hope and joy. So let's do this together. Let's light up the lawn and light up a life. Donate now at nationwidechildrens.org/give.
You don't have to wait for Black Friday to get good deals at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Shop early anytime this week and save on remote starters to warm yourself up, window tint to add style and privacy, and all things car audio to make your ride louder and better than the rest. Plus, check out deals on dash cams, Apple CarPlay, paint protection film, and more. Shop for yourself or everyone on your list at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories Black Friday sale. Going on now. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or online at columbuscaraudio.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. It's Senior Day Saturday for number 1 Ohio State. The Buckeyes will host Rutgers tomorrow at noon. We'll have that game on the Fan with live fan pregame coverage on campus tomorrow morning at 8:30. In the NFL, last night the Texans beat the Bills 23-19. Houston's now 6-5 on the season. Week 12 continues Sunday at 1 o'clock with the Bengals hosting the Patriots. Joe Burrow's been a full participant for the past 2 days in Cincinnati. He could make his first start since September after surgery to fix a turf toe injury. In the NHL, the Blue Jackets beat the Maple Leafs 3-2 last night in overtime. CBJ are in Detroit tomorrow afternoon against the Red Wings. And in college hoops, Ohio State's 5-0 after a win Thursday over Western Michigan. Buckeyes are back at the Shot next Tuesday against Mount St. Mary's. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Football Friday. Time to attempt to know the scores.
It's time for Know the Scores on Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Week 13 of the college football season technically started on Tuesday, but we will be picking games for Saturday.
We will.
No Friday nighters this week for us.
Bake, last week, how'd it go for you?
Not so well, Bo. I'm just going to focus on the fact that we're still 12 games over 500, even though we went 3-8 last week.
Did you really? I didn't remember us having that many differences. I ended up 7-4.
Yeah, I think we were a little different, and it just I think a lot of them were close, right? We talked about it last week. Those lines were so dead on that it was going to make things tough.
Lots of hooks out there for you. I went 7-4, so I'm 78-52 overall on the season. So away we go.
We can do better. We will do better. We'll start Saturday in Norman. Number 8 Oklahoma is a 6.5-point favorite, hosting 22nd ranked Missouri.
I tell you what, this Oklahoma team the last couple of weeks has they've saved their season. Bake, you and I were really high on them at the start of the year. Mm-hmm. They justified all of it early, and then the Mateer injury happens. I thought they brought him back a little too quickly, and I think that it cost them. But it seems like they got their mojo back. Their defense has never really gone anywhere. So as far as I'm concerned, they take care of business at home. Missouri with a freshman quarterback, I don't like the looks of that. I like Oklahoma winning this one relatively comfortable, 28-17.
So I did see that Bo Pribula has been upgraded to questionable. So that is something for Missouri there. I don't think Pribula changes much in this game. I think Oklahoma, Mateer seems to be healthy. I think they've hit their stride a little bit. I don't think this is a blowout, but I do think they cover. I've got Oklahoma 27, Mizzou 17.
We'll go to games tomorrow at 3:30 because we'll pick Ohio State and Rutgers at the end of the program. In Eugene, number 7 Oregon is a 10.5-point home favorite, hosting number 15 USC. Baker?
So I have not been the biggest believer in USC, but 10.5 seems a little fishy to me. Mm-hmm. What does Vegas know?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Vegas, and I'm going to say Oregon does cover this just barely. I've got the Ducks 35, USC 24.
Yeah, same but different. I think Oregon wins this game. I think this is right at it. I do think it's a good game, and I've been a believer of USC all season long, and I think they're going to play well tomorrow. I think Oregon does win this game, but I think it's within that number that we're talking about. Give me Oregon 28, USC 20.
3:30 tomorrow in Nashville. Number 14 Vanderbilt's an 8.5-point home favorite, hosting Kentucky. Bo.
I mean, they're kind of the SEC. It's ironic, right, that what I'm about to say, because they're not anybody's safety school, but they're kind of the SEC safety school here. Academically, there's nobody's safety school. They're what everybody strives to, but they're kind of the SEC safety school here in that if they can win out, they're cover for if something happens to Oklahoma, Alabama, or anybody else. I do think they win this game tomorrow against Tennessee. The Wildcat version is the one that is kind of interesting to me. So Kentucky has won 3 straight. They beat Auburn. They won against Florida 38-7, and then Tennessee Tech. I think this one's close. I like Vandy winning it, but I think it's 20-13.
Vandy's the better team. Vandy has more to play for. Vandy 34, Kentucky 24.
In Austin, tomorrow at 3:30, number 17 Texas is an 8.5-point favorite, hosting Arkansas. Baker.
I'll tell you what here. This seems... Arkansas is on a heck of a losing streak, but they've played everybody so daggone close. I just feel like Texas, after that big loss to Georgia last week, they know they have to win games, and they've got to make statements if they have any shot to get in the college football playoff, which I don't believe they do. Give me Texas 34, Arkansas 24.
Okay, yeah, same. I think I saw the injury report for this one. It's like 36 guys at Arkansas. So this is going to be a weird season at Texas, because if they lose next week to A&M and they're sitting there at 7-5, or 7-4, what a mess for a team that was number 1 in the country. Massive disappointment. I don't think it's disappointing for them though tomorrow in Austin. I got them winning pretty comfortable, 38-17.
4 o'clock in College Park. Number 18 Michigan is a 14.5-point road favorite at Maryland. Bo.
I just think it's too many points. I think Michigan wins this game. I think it's a relatively gross game. Maryland's pretty bad. They're 1-6 in the league last few times out. I mean, they got beat at Rutgers. They got beat at Illinois. Oh, my gosh. Am I going to make a live flip? They haven't really played anybody competitively since they were at UCLA.
I did the same thing.
I'm not picking Michigan to cover. I am not doing it. They can go straight to hell. Maryland keeps it close. Michigan wins gross 24-14.
Bo, I was trying to do the same thing and be like, Michigan's looking ahead to next week. They're on the road. They haven't blown out a lot of people. This is going to be close. Maryland is god-awful. Michigan 31, Maryland 13.
At 7 o'clock tomorrow night in Atlanta, number 16 Georgia Tech hosts Pittsburgh. The Yellow Jackets are 2.5-point favorites, Baker.
I just think Georgia Tech's better than Pitt. I don't think Pitt's very good. I mean, I know they switch quarterbacks, but they're the same Pitt that I saw lose to West Virginia earlier this year in the backyard brawl. So it's just 2.5. It's less than a field goal. Georgia Tech 26, Pitt 20.
Yeah, same. I think Georgia Tech pretty comfortable in this one. I think they're the better team. Haynes King's pretty dang good. I like Georgia Tech winning 31-24.
Your NBC Saturday night game probably felt a lot different at the beginning of the season. What's actually going to play out tomorrow in Happy Valley. Penn State hosts Nebraska. The Nittany Lions are 7.5-point favorites.
So I'll tell you what's. Did you guys see that Dylan Raiola's little brother decommitted from Nebraska this week?
Mm-hmm.
Raiola's done for the year.
Raiola?
Yeah. He's not like what Dylan is, but they're 7-3, and they just redid Rule's contract, and now is it possible that Raiola transfers after this year? It feels like it might be, and you can't trust that family for anything. I think Penn State buries them. I think they put it on them in a big way. Give me the Nittany's big in this one, 38-20.
So this was another one where I was like, why is Penn State favored by 7.5? That doesn't make much sense. Vegas knows something. Penn State 28, Nebraska 17.
At 7 o'clock 7:30, I should say, tomorrow in Gainesville. Number 20, Tennessee is a 4.5-point favorite at Florida, Baker.
So, as much as I've said Tennessee does not deserve to be in the college football playoff this year, I've also said that I thought Florida wasn't any good all season long. But what Florida has done is they've played pretty good in big games. They upset Texas. They hung with Texas A&M for a while. Georgia only beat them by 4. Ole Miss got them by 10 last week. The Gators pull the upset. They knock off the Volunteers 29-27.
I see it very similar as you. Billy Gonzalez coaching this team. He was on Urban's staff. I think it's weird this game's this late in the year. In the old days, Tennessee would play Florida like at the end of September, early October is kind of the feel for this game. So I think that's a little bit different for me than what I'm used to. But I don't think Tennessee's any good either. And I think they still have legway. It's at home. Gator folks will be jacked up for it. I'm with you. I think Florida could pull the upset in this one, but they'll definitely cover. For the sake of the fun of it, let's pick them to win it 23-21.
7:30 tomorrow night in Madison. Wisconsin hosts Illinois. It is the 21st ranked Illini, 8.5-point favorites, Bo.
You know what? Like, since we've played Illinois, I haven't even seen them anywhere on the radar. They lost Washington the next week, and then they've been impressive. Well, this is why I didn't see them. They played Rutgers and Maryland. That's why I didn't see them. And they buried both of them. I think Illinois goes up there and win, but I'm reminded of when Luke was the interim coach here and Bielema was kind of running his mouth, and we asked Luke, like, if it actually came to a fight, who would win? And it was a little twinkle in his eye and a reminder that he's maybe the greatest wrestler the state of Ohio has ever produced. And it was like, yeah, I got him. I'm good. So I'm going to go with Luke. I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Let's spring the upset, Badgers. I don't know if they can or not, but I think they keep it close enough. I think it's probably an ugly one. Illinois 17, Wisconsin 16.
If Wisconsin had not beaten Washington, I feel like I'd be right there with you. Illinois has acted accordingly when they have played teams worse than them. I don't think it's too crazy, but I do think the Illini cover 27-14.
The final game we're picking before Ohio State Rutgers at the end of the program is at 8 o'clock tomorrow in Ohio's Queen City. Cincinnati hosts number 11 BYU. It's on Fox. The Cougars, 2.5-point road favorites, Baker.
So there's every part of me that wants to say BYU coming this way, playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati has a lot to play for, would propel the Bearcats to a win. But I can't get over what Utah did to Cincinnati and BYU did or beat Utah. And I know that's football math, and football math doesn't always work, but give me the Cougars on the road, 37-31.
Yeah, I think the physicality is just becoming a little bit of a problem for the Bearcats. And I think BYU's not going to lack for physicality. Honestly, this is the most consequential game on the schedule in terms of the playoff to me. I mean, this could really throw things in a loop in the Big 12, and it could really affect Texas Tech, too. If BYU wins this one and plays Texas Tech with just one loss, I think Texas Tech's going to be a bye team. I think they're going to get a bye in this thing. So I think this is a big one for Tech and the perception of all that. I'm with you. I think if it were 3.5, I'd think differently, but I'm going to go BYU covering just barely. 24-21 does it on that side of things. We'll pick the Buckeye game, of course, as Reese mentioned, at the end of the program. Coming up next, when the Buckeyes have the ball, what do we want to see? And conversely, when they're playing defense, what do we hope to see from your Silver Bullets in their final game in the shoe? That's coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Everyone deserves a great car, regardless of credit. At Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall, we say yes to all credit types. Explore our selection, get financed in minutes, and own the road. Stop in today or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
When you're building a nursery school, elementary school, charter school, high school, vocational school, or jiu-jitsu school, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus, you can count on us to get you the right equipment at the right price right now. No matter what you got going in or going up. All powered by people. For equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. No wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Remember what sports used to be about calling up your favorite host and saying how stupid they are? Good news. We still do that. The Fan Call-In Show.
Hello! Sponsored by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino.
Sunday mornings at 8 on The Fan.
Your credit doesn't define your ride. Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall approves all credit types, good, bad, or rebuilding. Get behind the wheel today. Call 614-861-7150 or apply online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
November is an ideal month to plant trees in Ohio because the soil is still warm, which reduces the transplant stress. Plus, trees require less water in November than in the heat of the summer, allowing roots to grow in the cooler temperatures. When planting trees, keep these tips in mind. Select trees that are zone hardy for where you plan to plant. Avoid planting trees that produce slip hazards like fruits and nuts close to sidewalks. And don't plant large trees near or under utility lines. To learn more about the November tree planting, contact an ISA certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see scattered showers throughout the day. Could have some heavy downpours at times with temperatures topping out in the low 50s. We will see rain chances increase later tonight, especially overnight with some heavy downpours possible and lows right around 40 degrees. But for Saturday, for Buckeye football, we do see more sunshine as we go throughout the day with afternoon highs topping out in the low 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Have you already started your tailgate? Us too. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Oh, baby, get ready to play, win, and celebrate big at Eldorado Scioto Downs, your ultimate Caesars Reward destination. With Caesars Rewards, you're going to earn rewards every time you play, you stay, you dine, or shop. Not just here, but all over the 50 Caesars Rewards destinations across the United States. From unforgettable getaways to incredible culinary experiences, members enjoy exclusive perks and benefits that make every visit worth it. At Scioto Downs, the excitement is nonstop. Take your pick. More than 1,700 of the hottest new games. Sip on award-winning craft brews at the Brew Brothers Microbrewery, or dive into Guy Fieri's Trattoria, home of the out-of-bounds 68-layer lasagna. and the energy just keeps on building, doesn't it? Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 26 championship races. It's one of the biggest events in all of harness racing, and it's coming right here to Columbus. So come experience the action, the rewards, and the unforgettable moments waiting for you at El Dorado Scioto Downs, a Caesars Awards destination where the rewards never stop. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details. What this Ohio State team is going to look like offensively is, to me, damn near anyone's guess. They're going to have success running the football if they want to. We don't know exactly who is going to play at wide receiver. I do think that there's this ain't scores, kids. This is just trying to connect some dots. I do think it's possible that Jeremiah plays. I don't know so much about Carnell, and I am starting to get a little bit interested in just how long Carnell's been out and how ambiguous they've been on the injury. We know it's lower leg, but that's kind of all we know about it. So I'm starting to get some red flags on that side of things, just because we don't have, in college football, we don't have full transparency. One thing that I guess we don't have to worry about is Julian Sain's health. Here was Ryan Day from the Ryan Day Show on that.
Maturing every week in his approach and what he's doing, and just like everybody else, he's got to be at his best right now.
So he has been a full week of practice after getting dinged up last week. I mentioned when Ohio State has the ball, the ability to run the football is going to be something they ought to be able to do with relative ease. And the depth in that room is really starting to shine. Here is Ryan Day on seeing how that is starting to show up on Saturdays.
Coach Locke talks all the time about owning the ball. Got to take care of the football. Number one thing. You don't take care of the football, we all can go home. But then winning your one-on-one. So how do you win your one-on-one? So a lot of it's in pass protection when they're going to try you. And what are you putting on film? Weakness or strength? And if you put weakness on film, they're coming. You got to put strength on film. I think we did that this past week. And so those guys are getting stronger with it every day. It's something we work on, we emphasize. Also, winning your one-on-ones, when the ball's in your hands, whether it's running through contact and finishing forward or making a guy miss, which it all starts with a mindset. And, to your point, I thought, all those guys ran hard. It's good to see James, come out the back end. He's been practicing better the last couple of weeks. And, again, it starts with a mindset. So good to see. I think we've said this all along, and we probably talked about it more towards the middle of the year. The more these guys get these reps, the more we run the ball, the more they're going to get a feel for, each run and how it works, and they're going to get better. And we're seeing that right now. But, again, just like anything else, it all comes down to right now we got to be at our best. They got to be at their best.
Yeah, I don't think Ohio State's going to be at its best at wide receiver tomorrow just because of the injuries. Even if Jeremiah plays, it's not going to be much, and I guess they're going to have a pretty strict pitch count on him. I would also imagine that there are some routes that they just simply will not have him run. You have no interest in putting him in harm's way. You have no interest in putting Carnell in harm's way. And quite honestly, if an extra week of rest is what is beneficial, then do that for both of them. Because my hunch is you can beat this Rutgers team without either one of those guys. Here is Ryan, though, on with those injuries, the guys behind the guys have to step up.
Well, there was good things there, and we need everybody to step up this time of year in terms of depth. There was definitely, you guys saw good plays out there, and so but there was things now that are on film that they can grow from. And then get back to work, and guys trust them when they get on the field. That's important. So there's definitely good things there, and they're going to have opportunities again this weekend.
What do you guys hope to see tomorrow from this offense?
Touchdowns by however means possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and we'll do this in our three things, but I think when he talks about James Peoples, and he talks about the running back room and how much better that whole room has gotten throughout the season is, I think, kind of telling the hand, or at least what I could imagine the second to last game of the season looks like if you take all of the other games into consideration, how they've sat on the ball, how they've really dialed down how many plays that they run, how many drives they have in a game. I'll say one of them mine's 300 yards on the ground because they've got five guys just run the damn thing, and you be home happy. I'd expect Jeremiah out there just to exist out there on the field. I don't expect Carnell Tate. And I wouldn't be surprised if Julian Sain got pulled a little earlier than a 4-touchdown lead.
Honestly, I don't want to see anything different. Even if Jeremiah and Carnell aren't out there, Let's act like, and I know these guys aren't them, but let's act like they are. Let's just run the same offense we have. Now, if you slightly sway that towards the running game a little more tomorrow, I'm okay with that because they're such a bad team at defending the run. Rutgers is that. If you get 150 from Bo Jackson and you get 50 or 60 from Isaiah West and you have a game where you rush for 200 yards or more, I'm okay with that. I think 300, Reese, unfortunately, is out of the question because I just don't think Ohio State will ever run the ball that much right now or anymore. But I don't want them to stray too much from what they've done all season long.
So I was trying to think last year the schedule was so different because in the month of November, you were at Penn State, which was a massive game, obviously a playoff semifinalist. Then it was Purdue here at Northwestern. Then it was Indiana. Like last season, we went Indiana, Michigan at home to finish the season. And they played an incredible game against Indiana, but Indiana was ranked in the top 10 of the country at the time of that. So I was trying to think, stylistically, are there games last year that you could kind of lean on? And probably the two games that led into Indiana and Michigan would be the answer. So against Purdue last year here, they won 45-0. Will Howard and the offense, the passing offense, was 21 of 31 for 260 in that game. And then they ran it 35 for 173 in that game. And then at Northwestern, that's that Wrigley Field game where Carnell had that great catch. They won 31-7. Now, Northwestern last year was better than Rutgers is this year, but they were still 24 pass attempts. And again, that rush total was 33 for 173. So if you're looking for kind of a guideline of what it could look like tomorrow, I think probably some sort of an amalgamation of those two teams, of that Purdue game last year and the Northwestern game last year, that's probably it. So once it's comfortable, I think you'll see them kind of really lay off the gas a little bit. Now, defensively, suffocate. Absolutely suffocate them, and you ought to be able to do that. Ryan Day was asked to evaluate what he saw in the Scarlet Knights. Here's what he had to say.
I think Greg's always done a good job of running the football and controlling the clock, and we know that that's going to be part of his game plan coming in, and then they've really mixed in the fact that they can shoot the ball down the field. Some of these receivers, and they'll take shots down the field, and they have some bigger receivers that they'll look to go ahead and do that on. So you got to be winning first down, and that's important so that we don't let them stay on schedule and then keep that clock running. And so we got to do a great job on third down, getting off the field.
Rutgers has got to find themselves a way. I mean, they're not going to win tomorrow, so they've got to win against Penn State at home. That would get them 6-6 bowl eligible if this one goes according to plan. If you're looking from a talent equates perspective, a game that's similar to the one that we're going to have, they played Oregon in Piscataway and lost 56-10 earlier this season. They have a loss at Washington 38-19. They lost at home to Iowa 38-28. That's kind of it. They did win the prestigious Southern Ohio Championship by beating OU 34-31 and Miami 45-17. Sorry, Reese.
Yeah, they had a block punt in that game.
Didn't have to.
Did they?
That.
So yeah, Rutgers did, and Greg Schiano went for it on 4th and 6. If you look at that Oregon,
that's right. I remember that now.
If you look at that Oregon game, the Ducks had 415 yards on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't Ohio State get 300?
Yeah.
Well, they could. I just don't know if they will.
Now, the Ducks also had 335 yards receiving.
I think Greg Schiano's a hell of a coach.
I do too.
And I think it's one of those ones where if he would have left Rutgers for Penn State or Michigan or something, he went pro and he was out of his depth, in terms of his style versus professional football. But I think he's one of those guys that probably because was it the Tennessee gig that he had and then Clay Travis took it from him? They put that whole scheme together.
Yeah, because he was a Penn State assistant coach.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with anything around Sandusky, but somehow that cropped up and if they let him be hired at Penn State or at Tennessee, I think he would have won there a lot. But now he's later in his career, and so this is kind of his lot in life to be the one guy who can coach Rutgers to respectability.
I was watching a highlight. I think it was of the game 2 years ago because I think it was here in the shoe when Ohio State was up big and they did the fake punt, and I don't think Ohio State called it. I think the punter just saw it and took off, and then the punter got absolutely obliterated on the sidelines by the Rutgers player, and the Rutgers player got the personal foul, and, Ohio State obviously came over and pushed, there's pushing and shoving, and then Schiano came out there, and I don't know if there was something between Day and Schiano, or Schiano didn't like Day yelling at his player, but then Day and Schiano going at it. I was like, well, at least we have this to fall back on, maybe.
Well, I mean, think of the familiarity.
Yeah.
And think about those practices when one's on one side, one's on the other. So, yeah, I mean, I think all of that stuff factors in for sure. Doug Lesmerises in 2 minutes, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've hit your medical deductible, now's the time to see Dr. Mark Levy. Get a custom oral appliance that stops snoring and helps you ditch that CPAP and pay less out of pocket. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com before the year ends.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't let your insurance benefits go to waste. End the year sleeping better with Dr. Mark Levy's oral appliance. No mask, no noise, just results. Hurry, deductibles reset soon. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com today.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. Time to head out on that Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Conversation with our great friend Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. Also, Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. Is there a non-Michigan Senior Day memory that stands out to you?
Oh, man. Non-Michigan. I mean, Senior Day, all I think about with Senior Day is Troy Smith putting his hand in the air and rubbing his feet on the ground like he's a charging bull, man. Like that, you can't say, it almost wipes every memory for me. I cannot think of another thing. I guess I can think of John Simon running out on Senior Day and not playing and kind of limping out, coming out through that tunnel of people and knowing how much he wanted to play. But, man, it's just Troy.
Yeah, there's some weird ones. There's like the Michigan State game in 2015. There's the 2007 Illinois game. Those are losses. There's the Penn State loss where DeVere hadn't played all year. And I was I was hopeful that the fans would give him the love that I thought he deserved for sticking it out despite being suspended all those games. And they did. But that was a loss too. That's not going to happen tomorrow. But it's interesting how the non-Michigan Senior Days a lot of times just a vapor. They vaporize for me.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. I mean, like, this is one of those, the number of times that Ohio State plays like a real team the week before Michigan is crazy, while Alabama's playing the Citadel every year. So, like, there's a part of me that, like, well, it makes sense they're playing Rutgers at least. Like, why was Ohio State playing Michigan State the week before Michigan in 2015, right? Like, what is the Big Ten doing here? The year they played Penn State, like you said. So, and it's just weird. It's such a small group. I was asking Caden Curry about that this week, that, these fourth-year guys, there were 21 guys in that class, that 14 of them, I think, are no longer on the team, 7 are left. It's just kind of the way it works now with the number of guys. If it's not working out for you, you transfer. There's not a lot of guys who stick around if they're not starters for year 4 and year 5. So, yeah, I mean, a year ago they're playing Indiana the week before Michigan. They're playing the number 5 team in the country. Nobody thought Indiana was going to be that. But it's like, I think Rutgers is the Big Ten version of the Citadel. So this is a good one for Ohio State.
It's just stupid the Big Ten didn't change that. Like, just take Grambling and play it this week. Like, why wouldn't you just do that? Like, you could have done it at any point. Like, you could have a warm-up. You're right. The fact that Rutgers is in this league allows for you to do it because you kind of have your Citadel in your league. But it's just crazy they didn't just do that already.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I hate that the SEC does it. Like, but most of them do it. Not every single one. You know, we're getting Missouri, Oklahoma this week, but a lot of them do that. Mm-hmm. And I do think it puts you at your best for rivalry week. It puts you at your best if you're in a conference championship game. And so it's one of those. It's like, you know, the SEC jumps off a bridge. It's like, well, I don't know if it's helping them win. So yeah.
So it's Purdue, UCLA. By the way, how weird was that with the Amalieva stuff? Like, all week he's going to play, then randomly on a Saturday night he's not. And that changed everything with that game. From not that UCLA was going to win, but it just took all the juice out of it. And then you got Rutgers this week. All 30-point favorites are better. How long do you think Ryan has been seeing maize and blue every single week?
July. I mean, I don't, even, or, I mean, when you have the number 1 team in the country coming into your place for the opener, but probably since they got done with Texas, I would imagine, like, even knowing that Penn State was still out there, because I think, like, if you lose to Penn State, it's survivable, but also I think Ohio State would have felt good about getting Penn State in their place, like, when's the last time Penn State won in Ohio Stadium? So I just think we know what this is. And again, like, he's obviously been thinking about it, and I think it's good. Like, he's making plans for it, right? Mm-hmm. He's making little tweaks and adjustments to it. And so it is, as everyone knows, it is one of the strangest things I can remember in sports for a team that is on top of the sport in every other way, also having lost 4 straight to its rival. It is the ultimate peak and the ultimate valley of what sports is happening simultaneously within the Ohio State football program.
Yeah, and you're thinking. I just noticed, like, the champions grade's going to 83. Man, he ripped Julian a couple of times last Saturday. Ripped him, and they're up big. And I'm like, I get what he's doing because he's trying to say the standard is the standard, but there's a human nature to this too, right? Like, Julian's probably thinking, dude, we're up 35-0. Like, we're good. Like, I missed a throw. I'm sorry. I know I never have done that all year, but sometimes I miss them.
And I do just like the idea of this team's 1-0 because there's so many guys. Like, even if you were here, Julian Sain was here, but he was a bystander. Yeah. Like, a lot of these guys, Jeremiah Smith was part of it, and Caleb Downs was a primary part, Sonny Styles, but a lot of these guys were not primary parts of this. So that has been something great to hold on to. And again, it's just he's still – the Tuesday news conference, I thought we finally, as a beat, did a better job of asking about injuries, and we have to try to find out information. And I understand he doesn't want to talk about it, but, we asked enough questions, and I thought, people were saying, oh, man, is this getting a little awkward in the room? Is it getting a little uncomfortable? And I said, I think we got to the point where Saban would have snapped at us. The 5th or 6th time we tried to ask about Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate in a different way. So he's not that. Like, he didn't like it. Yeah. But he didn't snap at anybody, right? So he's still, Ryan, I think he is still like a very normal human within the context of this crazy world. But he is pushing guys hard, man. And so when he's yelling at the Heisman frontrunner in a 30-point game and looking like he's the maddest he's ever been at somebody, and it's like, okay, that's a little Saban to me. That's a little Saban to me, and I think that's what Ohio State fans want, right?
Yeah, I think you and I have been on the same page with that. This isn't Urban. It's much more of a Saban type feeling is what I get from him this year and the way he's kind of going about it. And I listened, and you were one of them who pressed on the injuries. And I'll tell you, because of the ambiguity, I'm not like Jeremiah. I think that one, talking to folks, I think that probably going to all be. But I do have some yellow flags up. In regard, not quite red yet, but yellow in regard to Carnell. Like, this is an odd injury. And I think college football you have legal sports betting, and I know that's not their priority in 39 of the 50 states. And just like that Amalieva thing that happened last week, like, And I know that next year there's going to be some changes to that, but it almost has to be like some sort of a mandatory injury front business going on here, because I think the ambiguity leads to speculation, and then that's where you get into trouble.
And I don't think it serves the players either, right? And it's like one of those things that's like, well, but also it's like when guys have stuff and if they're not performing, it's like, man, what's wrong with this guy? It's like, well, actually, he's been on the injury report a little bit. And like as Ryan explained, they do an injury report. They just keep it internal.
Yeah.
So they have it. And this is one of those, again, where the SEC, they do it much more during the week. They don't only have it on game day. They have midweek stuff. Bo Prabula went from doubtful to questionable on the Missouri injury report in the middle of the week because that's something they have to put out. So I do think the gambling is certainly a part of it. That I if the SEC does it, I actually think they're right here. I think the Big Ten should mandate something with injury reporting that's more than 2 hours before the game on Saturday.
I'm not going to hold you to any of this, but just kind of what feel are you getting on Carnell specifically, if any?
It's one of those. I think if it like soft tissue stuff again, like there's so many comparisons to the JSN thing several years ago, and it felt like that with his hamstring. And the issue there really started was he came back too fast. So he got hurt in the opener, and he tried to come back. He played in week 3. And then in hindsight at the combine, he's saying, I came back too fast. I wish I wouldn't have rushed it. So you can look at it the same way, and it's the opposite side. If he has a soft tissue, why is it taking this long? But on the other hand, if it's a soft tissue, maybe they're being smart by being super careful and going from, hey, he warmed up against Purdue, and then they didn't play, to, you know what, let's give the guy practically a month off and see what happens. And maybe that's the way to play it. So I think it's possible that the lessons from the Jackson Smith and Jigba stuff are do not rush soft tissue injuries. And maybe that's what this is.
This one is, it's 33.5 or 32.5. It's going to be over by the time we get to the third quarter. But around the country, this is kind of an off week, as you mentioned. There's Missouri, Oklahoma, but the big one is it's in the Big Ten. For the Big Ten's sake, what's the right result between USC and Oregon?
Yeah, it's hard. People have been bringing up, is Oregon out if they lose? Is 10-2 Oregon out? I kind of thought, I think they're in a decent spot. The one thing would be the committee seems to be dinging you for bad losses more than looking for great wins. If they're 10-2 and their losses are the 2 playoff teams in Indiana and USC, I think they're right in the mix. I don't think they're out. I don't think they're out if they lose. But they're not definitely in. So I don't know. What would you rather have? It's like I kind of like the idea of good Oregon. So as much as USC is a very competitive offense, I'm not so sure that the better thing is in Oregon. Like USC looks good, but Oregon takes care of business. And maybe we go into the playoff thinking the Big Ten has 3 national championship contenders. So I know it'd be great for the Big Ten to get more spots. But I just think maybe the best thing at this point is Oregon to look like a bunch of real dudes, which I think maybe they are. And that if it's USC, if USC wins, it gets interesting. But now you're risking all of a sudden Dante Moore and that great run game, and I think a pretty good defense, not even getting in. And I don't know if Oregon out, even the threat of that, I don't think that's best for the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think I'm. By the time I got to today, I think I end up kind of being where you are on that one, my friend, which is something that I normally end up doing. Good talking to you as always, buddy. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you next week.
All right, there he goes, Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. And, of course, subscribe on Substack. Bill and Doug, osu.substack.com. 3 things, 3 keys to a Buckeye victory, and your score predictions coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's a daily show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. Caleb Downs being honored. He gets so many honors, but acknowledges the Jackie Robinson Community Impact Award. Coach, it has to be thrilling to see a guy not only excel on the field, but off the field like that.
Well, yeah, Caleb is, making impact on a lot of people in his life already in a short period of time. And, it's on the field, but it's off the field, and it goes to show you the type of person he is and the family that he has. He wants to impact other people, and it's a community impact award, and that's what life's all about. When it's all said and done, sure, maybe they'll say he was an All-American or whatever, but it's going to be the impact he made on people. And Caleb certainly learned that at a young age, and proud of what he's done and what he stands for.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Coach also noticed this week the graduation success rate numbers came out for Ohio State as an athletic department, but also with a football team, numbers that were the highest they had been. Amazing to think about the demands on young men's time now that they still can excel in a classroom.
Well, it's everything, and I think how you do one thing is how you do everything. And for our guys, when they're doing well in the classroom, it's amazing how they're doing well in the field. And if maybe they got a little sloppy in the classroom, it's all of a sudden maybe they're got a missed assignment or they were a little late to lifting or something like that. It's the discipline that you have in your life, and one of the things that I think many people probably don't realize is the time commitment that these guys have to make in order to do what we do every Saturday. There's no time for video games. There's no time for really a social life. I mean, they wake up in the morning and it's academics and football, and then they got to take care of the body and get rest. And so it just goes to show you the time management and what it takes and the discipline and how well-rounded our guys are.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Picture this. You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
This time of year, it's all or nothing, and Toyota's got all you need during Toyota Truck Month. Now through December 1st, get 2.99 APR financing on remaining new 25 Tacomas, excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter, or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $259 a month for 39 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. All clear any drain, or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Looking for Black Friday truck deals? Then head to Germain Toyota. Right now, the savings are straight up and the offers are real. Right now, drive home a 2025 Tacoma with 0% financing up to 48 months with every vehicle sold at MSRP and 20% down. No trade required, or step up to the power of a 2025 or 2026 Tundra. Also 0% financing for up to 72 months. No gimmicks, no games. MSRP pricing and 20% down, no trade needed. 0% Black Friday savings at Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, should the Buckeyes rest Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate tomorrow against Rutgers? 83% say yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. Like we are treating Rutgers, and the line is the line, so you can't ignore it. But they are 5-5. a win in their next two, and they got Ohio State, Penn State, so it's not very likely, but a win in their next two gets them bowl eligible. Like, we've played worse teams in the Big Ten than this one, although the line is what the line is, which tells you probably, I guess, all you need to know on it. It's been a very different week, all building towards next week, of course. All right, time for three things to a Buckeye victory.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
I just got it in my head, like, what those are going to hit like next week. I mean, it just
chills.
Yeah. Look, Bake said you could get in for $28. If you can get in for $28, I encourage you to go to this one. It's a chance to see this team play, but it's also a chance, and this is what I want to see. It's my number one thing. I want a full throat Buckeye crowd for these seniors. There aren't many of them, but they've accomplished a lot. And it's not just the guys who are true seniors. We talked off the top of the show, the full appreciation of the Stiles family, but some of those guys that don't get their names mentioned as much, but also guys like Carnell Tate. And guys like Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese that are going to be playing their last game in the shoe. If they get subbed off, if they get a chance to hear their name, by God, let them hear the appreciation, because this is a magical time in Ohio State football, and I hope that they get a full-throated crowd, even in a kind of an awkward matchup on a Saturday.
Yeah, I do hope that this is a 105,000 for all four quarters. My first thing, because Oregon got 415 yards on the ground against Rutgers, I think Ohio State can shoot for 300 yards rushing. I think with the understanding that you can say it's next man up, but Ohio State does not have the wide receivers of the quality of Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith. So I think it's a little hard for them to run the full complement of the Buckeye offense without 4 and 17. But I do think 25's there. I do think 20's there. I think 12's healthy. I think those will be the guys to get you through this game as unscathed as humanly possible in that wide receiver room for next week's Michigan game.
First thing for me, and it's hard when you look at this Ohio State football team, as we've called it, nitpicking all year, Bo. Mm-hmm. But if there's anything that you aren't exactly happy with, let's get it fine-tuned and ready to go. If there's a certain part of the game that you have issues with, let's work on that tomorrow and get as many reps as you need in-game to help get that smoothed out. We want the football Ferrari to be ready to roll next week.
Yeah, and that kind of bleeds into my second one. I don't need to see Heisman Julian tomorrow. I don't. I don't need to see him standing in the pocket. I don't need to see him holding onto the ball, taking hits. It's not what he's been, and I don't need it. I need the ball out quick. I almost need like Texas Julian. I know that sounds weird because the opponent and what they asked him to do as Texas is so different than what he is now. But I just want the ball out of his hand quickly. I don't want people around his feet. I don't want people touching him. I don't need deep shots, especially if 4's not there for the customary shot down the field. I don't need to see that much either. I want methodical, boring Julian tomorrow. Methodical, efficient, boring Julian tomorrow. Just win the surest way, put it away, on to the next.
I'll piggyback off that. I don't even want second half Julian. And I'd be okay if you didn't see second quarter Julian. I think this should be one of those games where you're able to control the clock, you run the football, and if you're up 2 scores, maybe, if you're up 3 scores, maybe 2, throw Lincoln in there and run the Ohio State's offense, the full complement of it with the 2s. You're still going to beat Rutgers that way, and you're going to give these guys reps that'll be super important for next year when you won't have 17. You won't have number 1. You'll have number 4, but it'll be different. This is one of those, because you're not going to get any more reps for them the rest of the way.
Reese, I'm a little similar here, where it's get the young guys ready, like those young wide receivers. I don't know if Carnell Tate and Jeremiah are playing or not. It sure doesn't seem like it, but get all these guys ready. Riley Pettijohn, Peyton Pierce, and they've both been playing quite a bit. Devin Sanchez, let's get those guys ready in case, because you never know. We've seen it happen, right? JT Barrett, we talked about, went down in the Michigan game. Let's have those backups ready to roll.
Yeah, and I think this all kind of we all kind of have the same feeling for this one, and it dovetails into my third, which is, Seth McLaughlin put on a hat, run the damn ball, just run the ball. Like, You should be able to gash them. That running back room has gotten really deep and really dangerous. Lean on them, one after another. West, all of them. Jackson, West, Peoples. Every single one of those guys ought to eat in this one and just get this thing over with. I'd love nothing more if this thing was in the books by, I know it's impossible because the Fox commercials are so stinking long, but if this thing was done by 3:45, I would be thrilled. 3:30, ideally 3 o'clock, but that's not going to happen with their commercials. But if it's done by the 3:30 window, let's go.
Bo, I just thought of Ron White. Put on the damn helmet.
Yeah.
You said that.
Right. Run the damn ball. Put on the damn helmet. Right. Yeah.
I had this as one of my 3 things last week, and it didn't happen. Let's win the turnover battle. It's been since the Wisconsin game where Ohio State's been plus in that regard. Get a turnover. Don't turn the ball over tomorrow.
For the love of God, whatever you do tomorrow, win the game and stay healthy. No more. I don't want to hear about injuries next week at all. No more of them. Get your guys healthy. Stay healthy. There's every part of me when I was going into this thinking that I was going to pick Rutgers to cover. But I think Ohio State can beat Rutgers just running the ball. And I also think Ryan Day is going to keep the starters in. The starters that are playing and are totally healthy, I think he's going to keep them in until at least the fourth quarter. I also don't see Rutgers scoring much on this Ohio State defense, quite frankly. So I've got the Buckeyes 41, the Scarlet Knights 7.
I have Ohio State 45-7, so we see it similarly.
Yeah, I think it's going to mimic UCLA, honestly. I think it's going to mimic the UCLA game a lot. I think it's going to have a similar feel. I think UCLA without Amalieva is very similar to Rutgers. I think Rutgers is probably better. Where are we at as we're picking this one? I got to
32.5.
Okay, 32.5. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go Buckeyes 42, and I'm going to go Rutgers 7. So just inside. Oh no, that's just over. I need it 42-10. 42-10. 42-10 is what I'm going to go with. Either way, Monday, it hits different, kids. And we'll be here to paint the pictures for you all week long. Rothman and Ice up next. We're back Monday. Bishop and Fred's right here on The Fan.
Monday starts up a pretty big week. Gobble, gobble, and all that crap. Let's focus on what really matters.